hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Hey, welcome to Permission to Speak Freely. If you just tuning in, you just heard the Space Force. That's the Space Force anthem, the official theme song for the Space Force. Like how the Marines got the Marine Corps hymn, the Navy got, Anchors Away. That's the Space Force anthem. But what's your thoughts on that, Damon?
Bro, man, I don't want to disrespect those, you know what I'm saying, Space Force, nothing like that,
Sound
man.
like you about to.
But, bro, I can't hardly hear what they saying in there, man, with the music playing like that and all that stuff. Like it's all going together. Like it's all one little. They didn't even need no lyrics to that, man. They just users. It's just so it is what it is, man. But it's brand new too, man. Sometimes it has to wear on you a little bit.
Is it brand new though?
I don't know. I don't know.
It just felt like why we still, it's a Space Force song. I thought like Lady Gaga was like supposed to help write it or something like that. Like why we still gotta make songs that sound like songs from World War One? Like why can't we make like new sounding songs? Is that like a military standard? Like this the vibe I got. This the vibe. The Whoville chorus. I got the Whoville chorus vibe.
And they'll sing, and they'll sing, 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 sing.
I got the Whoville chorus vibes when I'm listening to this Air Force song, man. I'm just wondering, like, why we gotta like make songs that sound like that, man.
You're right, bro, man. It's 2022, bro. We need to do better than that. You know what? I think all them damn songs need to be fucking revamped. I know, guys. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me because I said that. And I know all the tradition and all that stuff, but hey, shit changing, bro. You know what I mean? Shit changing, man.
Like Space Force had an opportunity, man. They had a chance, man. They could have hollered at like Bad Bunny. They could have hollered at like somebody that like understand what's happening. They could have got with Kanye. Maybe he could have gave them some futuristic type. Timberland could have gave them some futuristic type of sound. But instead, we back to the same vibe, man.
Same vibe, man.
Same vibe. And I read an article, the dude, like, that's not to take nothing away from the work that goes into creating a piece of art. But I mean, I just would have thought we would have like kind of revamped our thought when it came to a theme song for a new military branch that's based on space and tech. And like,
you know what I thought, man? When I hear these songs now, man, I'm thinking they don't start writing until they hear the beats, the production, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they start playing all that shit in the background. Shit. Oh, we gotta make. Now we gotta make this type of music or whatever, man. I don't know, man. It's crazy though, man. It's kind of crazy.
Let me just hit you with the lyrics real quick, man. It says, "We're the mighty watchful eye, guardians beyond the blue, the invisible front line, warfighters brave and true." Boldly reaching into space, there's no limit to our sky. Standing guard both night and day, we're the Space Force from on high. So that's the...
Say the last one again, Space Force on what?
From on high.
Space Force.
We're the Space Force from on high. And the name of the song is Semper Supra, which is the Space Force motto, which is Latin for always above.
Okay.
And I think the dude that wrote it is a vet, like an Air Force vet or something like that.
Yeah. No disrespect, he might need a little help.
Yeah, it was two of them. He had help. He was a teacher. He was in the band. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I just don't get why we gotta like make songs that sound like shit from World War One. But it is what it is, though. It is
Yeah,
what it is.
bro, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you on that.
Let's talk about Seaman recruit Ryan Mays.
Okay.
So remember we covered Seaman recruit Ryan Mays a long time ago, the one about Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
And when we talked about Seaman recruit Ryan Mays, we didn't really talk about like him being like guilty or burning the ship down or not like that. We more so shifted our conversation to a conversation about like buzz drops and like what we should do about buzz drops. And also we talked about when people say they hate the Navy, we should take it serious and stuff like that. The reason why I remember the conversation is because after we recorded the episode and we put it out, a friend of mine, a mentor of mine, and somebody I look up to, they hit me up and they was like, yo, like y'all brushed over the crime and started talking about other stuff and didn't really get into the crime.
But there's a reason for that, though, right? It was a reason for that because, we didn't know at the time, though. You know what I mean? We don't want to assume. I didn't want to assume. We know what happened, yes, and it was a crime, yes, but I didn't want to like point the finger at the kid yet because, or anybody because we didn't really know all the facts yet.
Yeah, all we knew was that he was charged. You know what I mean? And I mean, but it made me think. It made me think after he talked to me. He was like, about that, yeah, buzz drops. But if somebody burned a ship, yeah, and I was like, damn, did we like not go harder? And I think I came in here like another week or something, and it was like, and I kind of addressed it, like, and maybe we didn't. But like, man, I'm glad we didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that we didn't, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let it play out, especially when you talk about junior sellers. Like we see this all the time where somebody like point a finger at like one person or whatever. So I'm gonna talk about this for a second, man. It says seller acquitted of setting fire that destroyed massive ship. So San Diego, this Associated Press, a military judge on Friday acquitted a seller of arson in a fire that destroyed the USS Barnholm Richard, a blow to the Navy as it faces allegations of improper training and maintenance of the $1.2 billion amphibious assault ship. Ryan Sawyer Mays, 21, deeply exhaled when the verdict was read, put both hands on the defense table, broke into sobs, and hugged supporters in the audience at Naval Base San Diego. Outside the building, he read a brief statement. He pretty much said the past 2 years, the hardest years of his life. He lost time, he lost friends, he lost family. His career was ruined. He had a whole team. His lawyer was saying this, this is what we put these kind of teams. I watched the video. His lawyer was saying this is what we put these kind of teams together for. My man walked out of there with like a 11 person defense team. Like he had, he had the cavalry with him. What I wanted to ask you about that is like, how do you move on from there? Like if you Ryan Mays, like how do you move on from
the first way that I'm gonna try to move on is take that 11 person, defense team I got and see can I get a little money out of the Navy, right? Because I lost 2 years, man. You know what I mean? Of my life, my family, all this heartache and pain and all this stuff with all this stress and all this stuff I got going on. I'm gonna see what I can get out of the Navy. That's how I'm gonna move on first, right? So I'm assuming he's probably not gonna be in the Navy no more if I wouldn't want to be anyway. And I'm gonna move on, man. And I'm assuming a smart kid. I'm assuming you got smart people around him. This could be a book deal. You know what I mean? Like what he went through. It could be a lot of things that he can, like avenues he can go in, right? Because there was headlines, man. There was headlines in the Navy. But you gotta have a strong team behind you right here now, man.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of regardless of the verdict, people still think you probably did it, man. You know what I mean? Like they probably think either you did or you had something to do with it. Especially people who serve, they know him way more. Only thing we know is he was not guilty. It's people
and we know why, right? We know that the evidence, it wasn't enough evidence, and the witness, like the main witness person's story kept changing.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Let me bring that up for a minute too, though, man. Like, it's hard to prove that guy did anything if you didn't actually see him do it. You seeing somebody go down there, man, you see people go down there all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like how you going to prove that? How you going to put me away for 20, 30 years because you seen me?
Yeah.
You don't have to have 30 or 40 years of being a lawyer. Man, send me in. You know what I mean? Like, I can get you off, bro.
Heard. You get Amber Heard lawyers in there. Amber Heard lawyers will make that thing work.
Put me in the fight, coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, good gracious, man. If you ain't got his eyes, if you ain't got eyes on, man, come on, man. Like, but yeah, and then the other thing was his story kept changing too, though. So man, it was crazy. But hey, again, the system looked like the system worked though. If you can't prove it, hey, it works. For this case anyway.
Yeah, the system worked. At some point, I'm gonna get into like how I don't know what episode, but how like a lot of serial killers was in the military too, and got out. You know what I mean? But I'm just happy that when we spoke about it, we didn't really speak accusatory. We talked about it some ways a little bit, but we didn't really slam too hard on the sailor because you never know until you know or whatever.
I got a question for you then.
What up?
Is it a blow to the Navy because he didn't get convicted?
Yeah, it's a blow, man. It's a blow, man. But we be taking a lot of them. We've been taking blows for a minute now, man.
And then think of how yeah, man, because I was thinking about it too as into how public this was out in the public, like big in the public. You know what I mean? Bigger than all these other cases. That's when you got these firings of captains in Massachusetts and all this stuff. This was bigger than that.
You know what I mean? No, this was real, the biggest news.
Yeah,
man.
so
this shit is
huge,
embarrassing,
man,
bro.
So
yeah, this is embarrassing, man.
Yeah,
Fat Leonard's on the run, bro.
You guys already know, man. Like, yeah, man. We did it. We was talking about this in the office, man. Like, and you guys know we talked about this also, man. We had this one of the first. One of the first, episodes that we put out, we talked about Fat Leonard, man. We dived in on it, man. But now he's on the loose, man. But I tell you this, man, what I did know after reading the article, and I don't know if we talked about this before, and I might have just slipped my mind, but I didn't know he was in Dago.
Yeah.
He right in my backyard, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was in my backyard, man. You know what I mean? Like, I did not know that, man. So, yeah, if you guys look at the article, man, he was in Dago, man. He freaking, I guess, went through Mexico. You know what I mean? And got to try to get Venezuela, which is kind of smart, man, because I'm gonna tell you about Venezuela, man. Venezuela has pretty much nothing to do with the United States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nothing to do with the United States. So I think he tried to request asylum or something like that over there or whatever, but
he is now. He is now.
Yeah.
But
he might be a lucky dog, man. Oh, he might have pulled a move on us, man. Oh, Pat Leonard got moves after moves, man. You know what I mean?
Leonard got the moves, man.
And think about it, bro. His connections, how you get in Mexico, man? Like, I guess you could get in there, but man, this dude, how you getting on planes, man? This dude got connections, bro. You know what I mean? He got on planes to go to these places, man. So he got some connections, man.
Yeah, they said he cut off his ankle monitor, man. He cut off his ankle monitor, fled to Mexico, then made his way to Cuba before turning up in Venezuela. He was arrested before he got on another flight, right? And they said he was trying to get to Russia.
Trying to get in the fight.
Yeah, my man's about to do something nefarious, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fat Leonard's on the move again. You know what I mean? But speaking on like nefarious spa type stuff, man, like another quick hit is, did you see this story, man? Navy engineer and wife pleaded guilty in submarine spa case again.
Yeah, bro. It's sad, man. I mean, yeah, I read about it, man. But I tell you this, man. I just don't understand it, though, man. Like, but I do understand how easy it could be to get money.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand that. These people out here giving you $100,000 everybody always trying to get a leg up, on the United States and things like that, man. So they're giving all this money out, but that's kind of hard to even think about, man, that we are going on one of these nuclear power wherever and downloading stuff and giving it to another country.
Right.
That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy on I can see from whatever country it was, they sent somebody in to try to do this. But to be an American, you know what I mean, born and raised, and go in and do this, man, that's the kind of the crazy part about it, man, because they're using this stuff for a reason. They want this information for a reason. Right. You know what I mean? Not just to give you no fucking money. You know what I mean? They want this for a reason. To either build something or either know the capabilities or whatever the case may be, man. And you sitting around here with a top secret clearance. What? And giving away freaking secrets? Come on, man. Put that joker under the prison, man. Put him under the prison.
Yeah, but they only talking, 12 to 17 or something like that. And I guess it says the previous, so they got sentenced. They already pled guilty and was sentenced. It says the previous sentencing range agreed to by lawyers for Jonathan had called for potential punishment between roughly 12 years and 17 years in prison. Prosecutors said Tuesday that such a sentence would be one of the most significant imposed in modern times under the Atomic Energy Act of 1954. And they was looking at 3 years for his wife, Diane. So Jonathan and Diana Tobey is the couple, the name of the husband and the wife. Yeah. He's 43 and she's 46. It says that he abused his access to top secret government information and repeatedly sold details about design elements and performance characteristics of Virginia-class submarines to someone he believed was a representative of a foreign government, but who was actually an undercover FBI agent. And then Diana was teaching at a private school in Maryland at the time of the couple's arrest. She was accused of acting as a lookout at several prearranged dead drop locations at which memory cards containing the secret information were left behind. So he would the memory cards were concealed in objects such as chewing gum wrapper and peanut butter and a peanut butter sandwich. And then it says the couple was arrested after he placed a memory card at a dead drop location in Jefferson County, West Virginia. So they would pretty much drop some shit off somewhere and then somebody else come pick it up and take it with them type stuff.
Okay, so for the wife, 3 years. Man, I thought about that for a minute, man. I was like, I know you guys ain't gonna like me saying this, but I'll probably give her some probation or something. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna say this: it's always conspiracy, and she probably should get time. Well, she probably is gonna get a little time. But I'm saying that because, man, if I was doing some crazy shit and it's me and Ella, man, Ella gonna follow me, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She's gonna be on my team. And if I tell her, I say, go look out for me, she gonna look out for me. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, that makes her a criminal too.
It makes her a criminal. I'm not saying she don't deserve 3 years or whatever, but I'm just saying that she conspiracy, yes, but I don't think it's a person that has top secret clearance, right?
Yeah.
She didn't get none of that stuff, right? Even though she was a lookout, so it's gonna be conspiracy. But I'm kind of with the 3 years thing, man. Like the minimum type deal, because I think she's just following suit, man.
I mean, how you sell that to your wife? All right, so I get you got into a fight at a bar. This conversation might kind of go off the rails, but you got into a fight one night and you made a mistake and you killed somebody in the fight, right? Or you thought you was defending yourself, you made a mistake, you killed somebody, and now you don't want to turn yourself in. And you go home, you tell your wife, hey, I think last night I murdered somebody. I got out of that or whatever.
Yeah.
And that part, it's what I mean is it's not preconceived. Or you made a mistake and hit somebody driving or something like that, kept driving, you ain't look back, you found out later on the news that the person died, you tell your wife about it, she's supportive or whatever like that. That's that. But how do you come home and tell your wife, hey, I think I'm going to start selling secrets to the Russians? Are you down? How does, you tell me, how would you have that conversation? Well, we know you wouldn't. Let's make that clear. We know you wouldn't. But how would you have that? How would you have it?
I'd say if I had that conversation, bro, it'll roll like this, man. Hey, babe, you about to give me 200 grand, man.
You guys, the money first. Yeah, put the money first.
She be like, what they gonna give you 200 grand for? Shit, I just gotta download and show this, drop it off, and they gonna drop that cheese in the bank account, man. Easy sale, bro.
Man.
But you know what though, man? I know we joking about this and all that stuff, man. But think about this, man, in a different light, right? And different times. I'm a dope boy, right? I got some stuff I need to sell, but I got to go to the store. I tell wifey, I say, hey, this guy's gonna come through around this time. I'll be right back. If I'm not back in time, go ahead and give it to him or whatever. That's still conspiracy, and that's still freaking more time than they getting.
Yeah, because it's drugs.
Yeah, it's drugs.
Yeah,
even more time. They throwing people away.
Which is a
drugs.
whole nother conversation.
Nother conversation. But what I'm saying is, though, but it's the same light. What I'm getting at is,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like selling secrets, bro, like it's just like, I don't know, that's just like the darkest shit that you, because it could be blood on your hands, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Blood on your hands of like, because I want to say like our subs are like an advantage, like for us. Like for the most part, we know that. Like our submarine warfare and all of that, our subs and stuff are one of the advantages of our military.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and to be selling secrets of that to like our adversaries is just crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
That's and you know, we seen the movies, bro. We seen the movies. Like after they get everything they need from you, man, they clip you, man. They gonna put the silencer on the piece and clip you, dog. Like it's over, man.
And the fam.
Yeah, it's over. After you done everything, it's like you knew too much, man. It's over. Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
It's a little crazy, man. It's a little crazy, bro. It's a little crazy.
Hey, did you watch Dahmer, the movie Dahmer?
I watched some of it.
I mean, the TV show.
Yeah, TV show. Yeah, man. I watched some of it. I kind of stopped watching a little bit, but I'm gonna get back on it, man. But that movie is dark, bro. That movie real dark, man. And I tell you this, man. I feel a certain type of way about the movie, man. Like the targets, you know what I mean, and all that type of stuff, man. So. But I knew that was probably the times back in the end. That's where he was from. That's where he stayed and all that type of stuff, man. But
he probably strategically placed himself in neighborhoods that he knew wasn't going to have that much oversight from police. And I mean, I'm sure you saw the episode with the 14-year-old with the young boy, right? Did you get there yet?
I got the episode, yeah.
When the cops came and they, dropped them back off in. Yeah, that was
a bad episode too, man. That's kind of where I think I stopped that too, man. To tell you the truth, I think I stopped right there. I think Ella watched a little bit more than I watch right now, so I got to catch up. Yeah. But I'm most definitely gonna finish it though. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a bad show or nothing, but I'm most definitely gonna finish it. But the part where this lady kept trying to tell the cops about this guy, man. Something's going on over there, blah, 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 blah. He just kept getting out of that shit, man. And he wasn't, dude, like, if you saw how, I don't know if they made this on purpose or not, man. He wasn't hiding this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say hiding, this dude got heads in the refrigerator, bro. He got shit all around his house, in the house. All you gotta do is just go in there. If you a cop, if something, like for me, right? If somebody keep complaining about something that I'm in charge of, they keep complaining about it, I'm finna go investigate sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm talking, when I say investigate, I'm going in and look to make sure. Man, they ain't never go in the dude's house, man. They never hardly went in there.
Yeah, they ain't take it serious. That's why they ain't take the complaints. They ain't take the neighbors. They ain't take none of that. Like, now it's crazy because it was a scene where the cop went in the bedroom. He was like, yo, let me check the bedroom. And it was a body on the ground or whatever. Now, I don't know if that really happened because, some of it happened, some of it didn't happen. But it was a body right there on the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all he had to do was actually walk into the room, but he was too turned off because the guy was gay or whatever. Because remember, they kept gay jokes and all that. They wasn't trying to even like give credence to like anything else. This boy was 14. He had blood. The blood. Like, I can't see myself being a cop and not being like, all right, well, let me like look at the blood like real quick. Let me see what's going on. Let's get like emergency
red
up
flag.
here. Yeah, like that just didn't make sense. Like he was dripping, but he got drilled in his head. Like so he had to have some blood there, and they noticed it or whatever. I know it was different in real life how that played out, but you know, just for the show, it's just crazy, man. Like he really got pulled over with bags of like body parts in his car, and the cops just was like, "Hey, what's those bags for?" And then he was, "Oh yeah, it's like some tree clippings." And the cops were like, "Okay, you just roll, you good to go, man. I'm gonna let you off." And then even when he got locked up for like molesting a kid or whatever, or assaulting a kid, sexually assaulting a kid, the judge was like, "You look like pretty much you look like a good person. Like I'm gonna let you off, you know, with a warning. Like get your life together, turn your life around." He wound up killing the kid's brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit was, and that's true story. That's like that part happened. Like those things, like so. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy, man. I mean, and these are stories that we know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy to know that like our young kids get to see these stories again because some of this stuff I'm thinking about, like it's like yo, you just start like dating somebody or whatever, and you go to their crib the first night. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things you need to look for the moment that door opens. You know what I'm saying? That moment that door opened, everybody was like, yo, what's up with the smell? You know what I'm saying? And he never was, in accordance with the story, he was finding ways to lure people back to his apartment. And then when they got in the apartment, that's when everything happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I live by like this motto, like if you want me to do something like real bad, like I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially after I got scammed out that $200.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
You know what I mean?
So you know what? It's something that's also I wanted to point out in this show, man, that made a big difference too, man. And that's being gay. That was kind of to me was pointed out in here. Like that's why the cops didn't want to do.
Yeah,
they didn't want to do anything. Once they start hearing that they was gay, they wanted to leave the whole situation alone.
Yeah.
But back during that time, I think that's what he was doing. And then he was using that. You know what I'm saying? He was using that for the cops to kind of like lay low and get out of there. Don't want to fool with him, blah blah blah, because of that stuff, man. So,
yeah, like they was acting like they was gonna get AIDS from like just walking in the room. Like it was super ignorant, you know, super ignorant. And that stopped them from actually, you know, catching a killer like well before like he got to 17 victims, man.
Yeah.
17, bro.
Sad, bro. Crazy sad, man. Crazy sad.
And he was in the military.
Yeah.
And he got an honorable discharge.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So what you been up to though, man?
Man, I ain't been up to too much, man. Back, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get it better, man. Not too much, man. Dealing with some selects here and there, man. I kind of like feel a little out of the loop a little bit on the selects this year, though, man, to tell you the truth, because you know what I mean, being on the ships and being like out and about, you know, normally we in there, man, like all the time, like what's up, but now I done missed a lot of stuff because especially now, I'm finna be out of pocket for the next freaking pretty much month and a half, 2 months. You know, after this week right here, ships every week, bro. I'm on ship every week. So I kind of feel like that when they talk to me, man, I feel like I'm talking longer or talking more because I feel like I didn't, you know, I wasn't around as much, man. It's normal. So, but it's cool though, man. It's good.
Yeah, I think when you a part of like a regional command, it's probably better to be somewhere in the middle of the information traffic. Like either be a sponsor or like a part of some committee if you're not like a lead, because else you're gonna miss. Because I mean, now I did it in the region for 2 years. Last year I was a sponsor, and I felt like I wasn't getting like all the information. And most of it probably was on me, right? And then this year, you know, I'm in the capacity of like being around the information flow, and I see some people who is like, yo, you know, I ain't know about it. And I'm like, yo, nah, like we put this out here, you know, but it's like, I get it. Like if you can't like see it in your face all the time. Like, it might not be information that you just seek out. Like, that information should just be popping up. You know what I mean? So, because I know you said you play like a smaller role this year or whatever. Yeah. On the ship, it's centralized. Like, you always gonna know what's going on. You walk in a mess. You always know what's going on. You don't miss nothing. The paperwork is in the mess. Like, everything is there. Like, on a regional thing, man, we trying to use teams. We trying to use like all this stuff to keep everybody in the loop all the time. You know what I mean? And like, in the capacity we work at, like, if you don't like respond, let's say somebody's selling something, tickets to something or something on the email. Man, if you don't respond to that email, that joint might be like 100 emails down by the next time you look. You're going to forget. So it's like, so the answer to that is for the people to keep emailing, like keep sending out, emails or whatever like that. So, But
and another thing, man, I'm missing Final Night.
Yeah, you ain't going to be there for that.
I'm missing Khaki Ball, all that stuff, man. I'm missing this time, man. So it's crazy, man. It's the first two though, man. I don't think I ever miss it. Final Night, bro. But I'm missing that shit. This shit, man. It's crazy.
You gonna miss some episodes? You can tell the listeners now? Like,
I don't know. I think I'm gonna be here on the weekends though, so we're gonna have to work something out. I think I'm gonna be coming back. Like, I think the next one don't be out. I come back Saturday. Then I'm back. I'm going live. I'm coming back Saturday and I'm leaving Monday next week.
Yeah.
So, but we'll work it out. We'll talk about it though.
Y'all hear that? We'll talk about it, y'all.
We'll talk about it, bro.
Hey, man. So I got sick. So we talked the last time we talked, right? And I was like, I pretty much surrendered everything to whoever was in charge of whatever. I wasn't trying to like have like micromanagement or whatever control. And I told you all I wanted to do was be there. That's all I wanted to do. And then I got sick. Like, I got sick and I had to take 3 days off to get better. Like, COVID was going around between the selects. And then I got sick, man. And like, the one thing that I didn't want to happen, like miss some days, that's the one thing that did happen. But we came right back, man. And we had a good week this week. Selects, man. They work in progress, man. You know, we all a work in progress anyway, all the time. But they're a particular work in progress. I got some charges and stuff to write this weekend, so I'm gonna sit down and, do my charges and everything like that, man. Anything else though?
No, bro.
Just chill.
49ers, got in some ass on Monday Night Football.
What's your record?
2-2.
2-2. Okay, that's cool, man.
I know the Phillies doing pretty good. I mean, they ain't played nobody yet, but they doing real good. I mean, the Eagles, I said, Philly, they doing pretty good, man. But they ain't played nobody yet, though. So we'll see what's up with them.
I mean, they played 4 teams.
Yeah, they did do that.
They did play 4 teams. They probably played. Yeah,
they probably got a winning record of 4 teams. But we ain't gonna talk about that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying you said they ain't played nobody. Like, they played 4 teams, just like y'all. Yeah. Like, y'all played 4 teams and the Eagles played 4 teams. It's just that the Eagles ain't lose to none of them teams. Y'all lost.
We beat the Super Bowl champs, though. You know what I mean?
They ain't played the Super Bowl this year, man. They played the Super Bowl last year. Hey, look, it's our favorite time of the year, man. Cyber Awareness Month, Cyber Awareness Challenge, NAV Admin 223/22. It's that time, y'all. Get on y'all damn computers and knock out y'all damn cyber awareness, man.
Man, fuck cyber awareness, man. Tired of that shit. It should be like you should get to a certain point, man, in your career. But you know what? I take that back. We just had this fucking guy doing some top secret,
right?
Shit.
Yeah.
So I can't even say that. I was for to say some crazy shit, but I take it back, man, because we need to remind motherfuckers all the time. I guess.
Yeah, man. It's important. That's a big thing with Space Force, and it's just important, man. I hope at some point we redo the training, man. You know what I mean? At some point we do something different with that training. Hopefully, you know what I mean? If we gotta do it every year.
We'll be out the Navy by then. But somebody will.
So?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know that same refueling video, man, that comes out every now and then, man. That thing was back in 1960 or 70, still playing it, man. I'm like, come on, man. What is that oil abatement? That oil abatement, whatever video. That shit old
When
as fuck,
they just
man.
watching that fuel leak or whatever. They just watching the leak or whatever. Yeah, I know what you talk
That
about,
shit
man.
old as hell.
Yeah, I know what you talk about. But look, man, speaking on like, cyber awareness and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
Did eNAFIT have issues for you last week?
Bro, look. So I'm talking. I had really because I got one first class,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm trying to get her shit good to go, man. Blah blah. Man, we could not get an eNAFIT, bro.
Yeah,
I think it was 2 weeks. We could not get in there for like 2 weeks.
yeah,
Straight. We could not get in there, man. But I'm okay with them putting that little blog on us saying, it's under something, troubleshooting, whatever. I'm okay with that, right? I'm cool with that stuff. But what I'm not cool is
mm-hmm.
when people from admin keep asking me for it, and that this shit is down. We can't go on there and do shit, but you have the nerve to keep sending me an email, keep asking me about it. Then I'm keep sending you the same email that's on this site.
Brother. I will take 20 years of the military and beat your ass. You understand me?
Right, that perfect timing. I'm telling you, I'm tired of this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was. Like, I would have kept asking me about it, man. So,
Yeah.
But it has it has issues. I got it. They put a sign on saying it has issues. What you want me to do? What you want me to do? But yeah, man, it's been a problem. It was kind of like, I tell you what, when I had to turn mine in, right? It was so my chain of command, pretty much, bro. Only thing we went in there and did was the beginning. We put our car's name in there, all of it populated, and then we sent all our stuff to admin, like hard copies and stuff. Man, they entered all that stuff, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want the headaches of all the, adding all the people and all that stuff. Went over there, we sent it over there, and they entered all that stuff in for calls, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how you guys did or not.
That's kind of how they did it. It's pretty cool too, though. I mean, you get your eval. You got to go back in and sign it, and then after you sign it, and it gets all like validated and stuff, it's done. Like 2 days.
Yeah.
Eval debrief 2 days. It ain't like they got to do the whole mail them off the ship stuff no more like that. So when it's working, it's working and it's good. But it's just one of them things. I think we roll out a whole lot of stuff, like just rapidly and not like kind of like see it through. Because what I think happened was I think the site crashed, man. I think in that time of the year, like too many people was actually on it. Like it's the eval season rolling around. You know what I mean? So
have you looked on your profile? It's already there on your OMPF?
I haven't checked my OMPF, but I saw that it was like I got an email back from eNAFIT that it was like posted. So we just gotta see what's going on.
Most definitely. Good shit.
Yeah, another thing about another good news kind of story about things being rolled out and brand new things is the USS Gerald R. Ford, CVN 78, and the Gerald R. Ford Strike Group they underway. Doing what they do best, man. Sailors doing what they do best, getting underway, man, getting the job done. This is a $13 billion carrier, man, underway for its first deployment, right? This is a first-in-class carrier that will be taking the place of Nimitz class carriers. It's also our biggest ship at 112,000-ton displacement, man. So shout out to all them sailors, man. Go do what y'all supposed to do out there, man. Go eat, get this money, get the job done, and protect our country, man.
It's a beast right there, boy. 112,000 displacement, man. That's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you right, man. Big shots out, man. Be excited, man. Be excited, man. The process and I don't know how many of those sailors was there from the beginning, but I tell you, it's a process, man. And I'm glad the ship got in the way. Glad it's out there doing big things. And man, go out there, like you said, man. Do what we do.
Yeah, do what you got to do, man. It's a carrier. I know that's probably better lifestyle than
lifestyle. I was on a carrier, man. Lifestyle's good. I mean, and that's coming from I was on the Nimitz. Actually, I was on the Nimitz, man, and I said that my mind that you guys can be mad at me when I say this, man. That was probably one of the most laid back commands at sea I probably ever been a part of, man. And I say that because of the number of people you got, to help you out. You had any questions about anything? It ain't like you probably never one of one on that thing. You know what I mean? You got plenty of people with diversity, different ideas, and different whatever, man, you need. You got somebody to lean on, man. So I think that was one of the most laid back commands I've been at.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's cool, man. I'm gonna read you a post, something somebody posted on Facebook, man.
Okay.
You tell me after I read it, man, who you think this person is or what kind of person this could be, right? So it says, what's all the fuss about jet fuel and drinking water? I served on a carrier, amphibious, cruiser, and oiler from 1963 to 1984 and experienced fuel and water on every one. We even graded the coffee by how many motes oil floating on top we had. Right? So that, of course, is a retired chief. Of course, as a retired chief, right? Just letting everybody else know how soft, this generation of sailors are. That's pretty much what that is, right? A retired chief letting everybody else know how soft this generation of sailors are. What's the big deal about oil and water? Like, come on, man.
So I tell you this, man. My first thought process, you're right. It's a what we call dinosaur, right? He old, crusty, all this good stuff. But I tell you this, man. That's not being hardcore right there, man. Drinking jet fuel, that's not being hard, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not asking questions about what you're putting down in your body, that's not being hard. That's being dumb. You know what I mean? I'm just be real with it, man. That's not cute. It's not funny. It ain't you trying to say something to take up for the old cats in the military and what you guys did back in the day. I ain't drinking no fuel. I ain't drinking none of that shit. So that post was dumb to me, man. You know what I mean? I'll be real about it. I don't even like it. You know what I mean? I'm really like upset about it. Like that you are trying to call this generation soft because you guys drunk fuel.
Yeah.
You guys testing the moat, so that made you guys hardcore. No, that didn't make you hardcore.
Every Facebook group got a group of retireds that's talking about like how crazy things used to be when they was in, man.
Yeah.
I remember we talked about Apple Music and us not being able to listen to our music on here. And somebody was like, y'all pansies. Like,
bro, hey, you know what, man? And we brought that conversation up, man, and I know we talked about it, but that was a thing, bro. I want you guys to know, world, we talked about this before, but that was a thing, man. Them 30 days went by, man. I felt that. And you guys want to call me a pants and call me whatever you want, man. I felt that, man. I needed my music for working out and stuff, man. I need that.
Yeah, man. They don't care about us, man. They don't care about us. Listen, man, I directly wrote to Apple through Twitter because, you can't never find a way to actually communicate with these people. So I actually wrote to them and like, hey, like, what's up? Like, we're in the military. Y'all need to figure something out for military people so we can still stream music. We are probably the people that need it the most. And it ain't really happen. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really happen. But while we recanting, you was right about something else about the sewage systems at shore duty commands. Well, while we reminiscing, you were right about the sewage systems at shore. I remember you talked about sewage systems at like shore duty commands and how they be acting like it's the ship still, man. When you was talking about get like something better than whatever ply that they was
that
using.
One ply toilet paper. Yeah, I remember talking about that, bro. What happened?
I was at work and they was having a little meeting, a facilities meeting or whatever they was having. And they was putting out the word like no flushable wipes, in the office. I'm like, damn, no flushable. like we can't even have flushable wipes. There's like, if you find somebody, there's like, hey, there's like, we don't want to tell y'all the stuff we see. We don't want to tell y'all the stuff that's in the pictures that we took. I'm like, damn, this sound like I'm on a ship still. You know what I mean? like this sound like the VCHC system, man. Like, yeah. So I was like, oh shit, Damon was right. I mean, because when you was talking about it before, I just was listening. But then I'm like, damn, Damon was right about this.
Yeah, man. That was one of my do-betters, man.
Yeah, we
Do
got
better, man. Come on, man. One ply toilet paper. Come on. Now you no flushable wipes. You're killing
Yeah,
us,
you
man.
can't use wipes. Like we need better buildings. We need better infrastructures. like what we doing, man?
If this killing all the sewer system on ships, I kind of okay. I got you because I work with that shit, so I got you. But shore duty, man. Why we selling it then? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's killing these systems, why are we selling it? If we sell it on the base, you know what I mean? Why are we selling? Because I'm telling you right now, if you sell it on the base, somebody gonna go get something from the store. They bringing that to the office, bro. You know that. You can't be telling nobody not to. Yo, man, we're on shore duty, man. I'm mad about that too.
We
Come
America's
on, bro.
finest, bro. We should have top of the line shitters, state of the art fucking toilets, man. America's finest. Like, it's no way, man. It's just, and listen, man. So that starts out as a joke, but and like when you really dig into it, because I know we just kind of like sprinting through topics, but like that starts out as a joke, but when you really dig into it, bro, like what of our shit be like state of the art, man? like what like military kind of like related facilities, anything is like state of the art, bro.
I'm trying to think, bro. I don't know. Hold on. Give me a second, man. Give me a second real quick. What do we got that's crazy? Like I'm talking about like, bam.
Our computers ain't, the laptops not, the programs we using ain't. Like it's like we already know the registers and stuff like that. We know that stuff not state of the art. The vending machines ain't state of the art. Even with the shore duty shit, the snacks that's in the vending machines not state of the art snacks, man. If I see another Haribo gummy bag, like nothing we have is stated. If I see another Big Texas, man, like who's still eating? Like who's still eating Big Texases, man?
Dry as hell.
Like,
come on, man.
Like, yo, holla at me if you still eating that Big Texas, man. Like, you know, the hard Nature Valley. Like, come on, y'all. Like, I don't know, man.
That's a good question, man. Maybe we need a little help with this, man. What do we got that's like state of the art, like the best of the best? What do we got?
Our apps suck. Like our apps trash. Like I hate that.
Gym trash. Dream got the basic shit in it.
You get a good one. Yeah, every now
and then you get a pretty good one. But trust me, man, there's some stuff out there, man, that you go in these gyms that's out in civilian world, man. You be like, wow, you be blown away. I ain't been blown away too much by no gym on base, man.
No base gym, no Next, no auto shop, none of that shit. Like ain't none of our stuff. I don't know, man.
We need help, man. I'm assuming it's somewhere out there, man. That you guys know about that I don't know about. That state of the art, man. You know, help us out, man. Hit us up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I know. On a somber note, right? Last month was Suicide Awareness Month, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of times when these months happen, like when we go through these times, something happens normally in close proximity that's related to the month for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then this month, the last day of the month, I got a text message from my old shipmate. Is shipmate a bad word? You can't say shipmate.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I got a text message from my old shipmate and she was like, hey, senior, do you know anybody that knows this person? And it was a seller in Great Lakes. It was an EM in Great Lakes. And he posted something. He pretty much said, all right, y'all, it was great. I'm checking out now or something like that. And he said, thank you for the memories. I'm checking out now. Goodbye. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know him, but I know somebody in Great Lakes. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, do you know him? You follow? And they was looking for him. They was looking for him at that time. But like, unfortunately, by the time they actually found him, and found out what was going on, he was already deceased. Right. So he was already deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Right. So they couldn't help him. So they weren't notifying his family and everything like that. It just says, if you're in imminent danger or experience a medical emergency, call 911. If you having thoughts of suicide or hurting yourself, well, this is the crisis line for where he is from. and I'll drop the crisis line, the normal crisis line in our chat. But this was in Florida. Let's talk about mental health crisis and stuff like that. Investigating the incident, preliminary stages, remains under active investigation. It's just sad news, man. Just to sum it up, it's just sad news, and it came the day of, like, the last day of Suicide Awareness Month. This was a sailor in Great Lakes training. So ain't even got out to the fleet yet, and probably ain't been in the Navy for a year or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just rough, man.
It is, man. You know, believe it or not, man, I know we sometimes get like, man, we got this month, got that month, whatever. But this is why, though. This is why we got these months, and we sit down and we kind of like talk about it a little bit, because stuff like this is happening. You know what I mean? It is happening in the military. It's happening everywhere. But I just want to say, man, that it's a lot of avenues out there that you can take, a lot of avenues out there that you can get help. And then on top of that, I just want to say, man, like, every life does matter, man. And it's people out there, believe it or not, it's people out there that want to help you, that's willing to help you. And I'm not saying it's everybody, but I'm telling you, it's people out there that want to help you to get better. So reach out, man. Reach out.
Yeah. I mean, that post from him, man, it just felt so final. And I honestly felt like, you know, whenever we did find out any more news, that was the news that it was going to be the news from what I read. And that's a hard thing to kind of deal with. That's a hard thing to think about. But it was just crazy how a seller got in touch with me. I got in touch with a chief. A chief got back in touch with me. I gave the seller the update, and but when the chief hit me back, she was like, "I'm sorry," and then she hit me back again later and was like, "Yo, do you have anything you want to say about him?" Or and I'm like, "Yo, I didn't know him at all. I didn't know him. She thought I knew him, but I didn't." But that's happening to me a lot now. Like, I'm just starting to just connect to just whoever I could connect with. Like, I didn't know the guy at all. But bless, prayers to his family, and prayers to everybody out here, and hopefully, send some strength to everybody out here that's got a lot going on in their mind and thinking about some of the same stuff that our shipmate was thinking about.
Most def.
You know what I'm saying? All right, let's talk about our Hero of the Week. Medal of Honor recipient Dennis M. Fujii. And I'm gonna do a little different here. I'm not gonna go through the citation, but I'm gonna read an article about Dennis M. Fujii. So he just got his Medal of Honor from President Biden recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it just says there was never any doubt about the courage and the heroism that Specialist 5 Dennis M. Fujii demonstrated those 51 years ago. So this is for something he did 51 years ago. The Hawaiian-born veteran was awarded Distinguished Service Cross for his actions in treating and defending a small force of South Vietnamese allies during a fierce battle just across the border of Laos over a period of 5 days, from February 18th to February 22nd, 1971. So remember that. It was 5 days. This was a 5-day thing. Mm-hmm. But what he did there deserved more than a Distinguished Service Cross. That was rectified last week when he and 3 other Vietnam War veterans were awarded the Medal of Honor by President Biden at the White House. What Fujii did over those several days is a true example of courage beyond a call of duty. The chaos of war threw him into responsibilities that were outside of his normal mission, and he had to adapt to a situation on the fly. You see, Fujii's regular MOS with the 237th Medical Detachment, 61st Medical Battalion, 67th Medical Group was as a crew chief on one of their medevac helicopters. On the 18th of February, 1971, his helicopter and crew were on a mission to evacuate seriously wounded Allied South Vietnamese military personnel from a fierce battle across the border in Laos. When they got over the battlefield, they started receiving intense fire from the enemy forces attacking a small South Vietnamese unit. His helicopter was shot down as it approached the landing area. He and the pilot and co-pilot were wounded. A second medevac helicopter was able to land and take on the two pilots, but Fujii tried to get on. But as Fujii tried to get on, the enemy laid down a massive volley of fire at him in a helicopter. He waved off the helicopter to save the lives of his pilots and those on that helicopter. Several other attempts were made to get him, but the enemy fire was both too intense and too accurate, and they were unable to get Fujii. He got a radio and told them that the place was too hot for any further attempts. Fujii remained with the South Vietnamese unit, so they call him the RVN, right? As the only American for the next 3 days. He was now in the war in a way he had never imagined. He continued to care for the wounded as the enemy continued its attacks on a small RVN unit. The following day, the enemy, now a reinforced regiment in size, made a determined effort to overwhelm the unit that Fujii was with. The attack was supported by artillery. Fujii got a hold of a radio again and started calling for helicopter gunship aerial support. For the next 17 hours, though wounded and now on the edge of collapse from exhaustion, Fujii exposed himself over and over again to observe enemy positions and to direct the supporting fire from the helicopter gunships. On several occasions, he had to drop the hand mic of the radio in mid-communication in order to lay down suppressing fire at the enemy with his own rifle. He continued to help the wounded and defend their position against the fierce assaults of the enemy. By this time, he was beyond fatigued. On the 20th of February, a helicopter was finally able to get in under heavy fire and pick him up. But it too was hit by fire and was forced to make a crash landing at another South Vietnamese Ranger base about 4 kilometers away. He would remain there until the 22nd before being medevac himself to the rear for medical care. And oh yeah, there's one piece of information that is important here as well. When all of this happened, Specialist 5 for GE, he was 19 years old. So when all this happened to Specialist 5 for GE, he was 19 years old, right? So a young man, right? So, I mean, we got it right at the end, and we gave him a Medal of Honor now. 51 years later, he's 74 years old now, right? Specialist 5, Dennis M. Fujii, a.k.a. Papa Whiskey. I wonder how he got the the little call sign, how he got the name Papa Whiskey. So I watched him, talk about this, and I was listening to him talk. Real cool dude, real humble dude. He said he was hopeless, right? Because we talk a lot about the reason why I want to talk about this, because we talk a lot about our heroes of the day, and we talk about the kind of people they were, and them like stepping up and like being like giants in these moments. So I'm gonna talk about how he felt. He said he was hopeless. He said he was begging the Lord to save him. Right? These things we don't think about when we think about the heroes, man. You know what I mean? He said he pretty much said like God, because he's religious. His religion or his God that he believes in, he pretty much said that if it wasn't for God, he would not be here right now. So I'm sure he was talking to, God every day, praying and doing whatever it is that he wanted to do, that he felt he needed to do, right? And that makes him, one last fact is that makes him one of only 21 people from Hawaii to receive the Medal of Honor.
Yeah. That was big time, man. And I tell you this, man, he was put in a unique, like a lot of the Medal of Honor recipients we talk about, they was in gunfires and they running through this and running through that and doing this and doing that. Or, laying a life. And he was in some circumstances also that he probably didn't even have a choice. You know what I mean? Like he's helping people. He's trying to get on the radio. He's tired. He just, like he said, man, he's helpless. He's just trying to live, man, trying to survive, man. So long overdue. Glad he got what he deserved. And another big time, hero of the week, man.
Yeah. He also wasn't around Americans, bro. He wasn't around Americans. He was the only American in,
even crazier, right?
In the unit. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he kind of got like that's like behind enemy lines type, thing. Now you with the ally, but you still the only none of your
same though.
Yeah, none of your like your cohorts, none of your comrades are like with you. at the time. I want to go straight to Do Better, man. I want to go straight to Do Better from Hero of the Week. Because we really need to do better here. We got some Chief Selects. And one of the Chief Selects, she got a talking, and she was talking about how, like, a lot of the cases, or a lot of the time she talked to like a young seller, or even when she was a young seller, the people that was making advances to her wasn't like sellers in her pay grade. It was chiefs, senior chiefs. And when I'm talking about advances, I'm talking about sexual advances. And we had about 2 CCSs in there, or semi on a CCS in there. And they pretty much said about 90% of the cases they get are from khaki, right? And I would assume a good percentage of that was from, the mess as well. And then we got this story here that I'm going to talk about. Navy Master Chief loses rank and given restriction at court-martial. Former senior enlisted leader from a California-based trainer was convicted this summer on charges that he sexually harassed other sellers and engaged in sexual activity with junior service members in training, right? He was found guilty of all charges and specifications at court-martial. He got reduced in rank to E8 and given 60 days restriction. It says the charges against him stem from incidents that occurred after he arrived at the command in July 2020. My man came into the command, and a month later started like doing wild stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? He was charged with abusing a training leadership position for allegedly engaging in sexual activity with a seller from August 2020 to August 2021 while in a position of authority over the seller. A shipmate, his name is Shukar, a shipmate. The Master Chief who got reduced to Senior Chief name is Shukar. So a shipmate whom Shukar knew or reasonably should have known was a especially protected junior service member and initial active duty trainer, according to the charge sheet. It says he faced another specification of the abusing a training leadership position charge for engaging in sexual activity with a seller over whom he had authority from September 2020 to August 2021. The charge sheet states. So that's like a year. He was also charged with 4 specifications of failure to obey a lawful general regulation and engaging in a personal relationship that was unduly familiar and that did not respect differences in rank or grade. Right. And this is a dude that been in the game for a while. He was in the military since 1994. So he been in the game for a while. But man, we got some people out there, not just the focus on him, but we got some creeps out here, man. And I say that because it's just like a business. It's just like a business, bro. It's really taking advantage of like your position. Some of these, I remember when I was young, and we talked about it on another episode, but I remember when I was young where it's like women were saying they was getting like cash offers, you know what I mean, from chiefs. Some of the girls that we used to work with was like, yo, chief offered me, our senior offered me such and such and such. You know what I mean? Like that. Come on, y'all. It's way too many women out there. I know you ready to go in, man. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, I hear you ready to go in. I'm sorry. I just want to say this one last thing, but it's way too many like women out here some of these dudes married, but like for the single dudes, like there's way too many ladies out here in the world. You know what I'm saying? For you to start trying to pick through the junior sellers on your ship that come to work and that's supposed to be dependent on your leadership and trust. And that shit make leaders like me have to like walk on eggshells when it come to like leading junior sellers that's women because they fucking scarred from dudes like y'all. All right, that's it. I'm going to go back in after you talk because I know you was ready to get it in.
Yeah, we do training on this shit all the time, man. Always talking about it, right? Always talking about harassment, assault. We always talking about this, right? So this is almost like you put your hand in a barrel, right? And you got all these different snakes in there, man. And you stick your hand. You don't know which one poison. You don't know which one is what, right? That's what you guys are doing, man. Right? You are messing with what you know is wrong, right? You know it's wrong. You know it for a fact. If you're a leader in a leadership position, blah, 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 you know it's wrong, but you still want to put your hand in that barrel, man. Not knowing the outcome. right? When you say something to a junior sailor, you are now hoping that junior sailor is cool with this stuff you doing.
Yeah.
You are wishing they're cool, but you are taking a chance because they are probably not. And on top of that, they probably can use this shit against you. But you still stick your hand in that barrel, right? Knowing your ass may get bit by a poison snake, man. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't see some of this, but like you said, man, it makes perfect sense though when it comes to we are out here playing trying to lead sailors that's already being scarred from us. Right. And I'm saying us, I mean the mess. Right. When I say us, I mean leadership, period. I mean, it could be officers too. I'm assuming some of those creeps too. But what I'm getting at is, man, like it's hard out here already. You know what I mean? It's hard
Right,
enough.
yeah.
It's hard enough out here. But I'm gonna say this, man. Like stop that shit, man. Stop using your power for stuff like this, man. Right? You know you in a position to make change, but you making change the wrong way. Right? You know, like a sailor gonna come to you and talk to you. It's almost like a sailor coming to my office saying she trying to get 24 hours liberty. And I say, go ahead, as long as you do this. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's abuse. That's abusing your power, man. And I'm saying female now, but it could be a male too, whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is like this is getting crazy now, man. It's happening way too much.
Mhm.
Way too much, man. Way too much. But I don't see it stopping. But I see more of them getting in trouble, which is a good thing. And for the junior sailors that's out there and this is happening to, don't be scared to speak up, man. You know, don't be scared to speak up and say something, man. But with that being said, make sure that you're not sitting on this stuff, man. Like I know sailors have been sitting on stuff for like years and years and don't say anything about it, man. Like just sitting on it, you know, and then all of a sudden something happens to the sailor, and all of a sudden now the sailor goes in, oh, this happened to me 2 or 3 years ago. Oh, he also did it to me. He also did it to me. No, don't be the also did it to you person. Speak up, you know, because that person shouldn't be in no leadership position, right? And they should be out the military, period. Like we are here for a reason. We worked our way up to get to a certain point in the military, and most important, being a chief is leading sailors. We cannot lead sailors if we out here trying to fuck the sailors or do whatever we trying to do. We can't lead them like that, man. So speak up. That's the first part, and I think the legal system will take care of itself. But speak up.
Yeah. I mean, and protect yourself when you do speak, you know, because a lot of people don't want, a lot of
Yeah,
young
yeah.
sailors don't want to
True.
speak because they feel like they not going to be protected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you try to align yourself, you know, with support. Try to align yourself with support, because some people feel like they get on an island then and everybody like, oh, I love that person. Why would you do this? Why would you do that? You know, I always knew that it was people willing to like help. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you feel like the people that's going to cut you down is a stronger force because they the people that you kind of see outright. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. So, and that's what I mean by aligning yourself, you know, with support. You know, soon as you go report, find them people that, you know, that you see that's taking care of you, and, you know, get around those people because they're going to, be able to help you and shield you from all of that backlash. Because people get backlash when they report things. That's like true too. And I know some of this stuff, you know, and I would love to talk to, you know, a young woman about it, because we you know, we dudes, and some of this stuff we might sound ignorant on. So I would love to talk to a young woman about it. But one thing that I'm not ignorant on is the idea that like these dudes, they bad apples, man, and they mess it up for like us, you know, because it say one bad apple don't spoil the bunch. But in this case, like it creates this perception, bro. And I'm a super like hyper conscious analytical person. So man, and even as a semio, you know, I would have young ladies come talk to me, in the space that should be protected. And I'm like, hey, are you okay with me closing the door, or do we want to keep it open? Do we want to stay visible? Do we want to, like, just to make sure they know that I'm okay with them being okay with feeling like they were protected and secure? You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but we was in training the other day with the chief selects, and another male chief was kind of giving the same training. Like keep all doors open. Not everybody agree with that training. Some people was like, no, if somebody need to talk to us, close door, we close the door. But it's just that, like, man, like, people shouldn't have to think that much, man. I think about that with young women. Like, young women shouldn't have to. They do have to, but they shouldn't have to, like, think so much about, like, protecting themselves. And as leaders, man, I think it get in the way of like how much we could do, because we got to think about, like, everything, man, like the perception of things, protecting. And it's like, because there's so many nasty motherfuckers out there that like make you have to, I don't know about you, I'm about to ask you, but I'm always conscious about that, man. And I feel like it limits, like, if I could be operating at like 100%, I feel like it's like a 90 percentile when it comes to like leading sometime, because I gotta limit certain things when it comes to like the woman seller, to like prevent like anybody like having perceptions, or even make sure that she's comfortable, man, and she leaves that conversation comfortable too, and don't think I'm another creep and I'm working my way into like making an advance at her, and things like that. It's even like women in the world, you know what I mean? That, like, man, like my friends and stuff, I would love to say, hey, you look great today. You know what I mean? But so many creep motherfuckers, then, like, I tell my boys, like, hey, dog, you look good today with them, shoes on, whatever, like that. I do that. That's just, who I became as a person. But it's like, it's a different conversation when you're talking to a lady, because a lot of these dudes done creep shit. And it was like their gateway into like finally making their nasty, move, or taking advantage of, it's just a whole big thing. So my question for you is, did you ever feel like you had to be conscious of like how you was dealing with like a woman sailor, if she came to you and needed your help, or period, just regular interaction?
Yeah, automatic, bro. Automatic. I'm always saying that about, hey, I ask the same thing. Do we need me to leave the door open? Or do I need to bring another sailor in? I always ask those questions, bro. Always. Yeah. And it's a reason for it. And the reason is what did happen before us from both sides. You know what I mean? From both ways. I've seen sailors take down chiefs too. I have seen that personally before, but it was different than this though.
Yeah.
But and also for the sailor too though, for the sailor, to feel comfortable talking to me, right? Yeah. And you're right though, man. I always do it, and I also even when I'm up talking, and I see and I got everybody around, man. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna say this before I go in there. Like before I go before I go talk to sailors, I'm already like thinking what I'm going to say, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? All this type of stuff, man. Like I think about now, man. It's in a different light. But I tell you, man, this is one of those subjects, man, that we could probably talk about for a long time, man. Because of all the craziness stuff that we done seen, in Navy times and everything. It seemed like it's the same freaking thing all the time, man. Just like it's almost the same storyline where some senior sailor did this, or some senior sailor, abused their power or something to that nature, man. But I tell you, out of all those stories, it all ends the same though. Somebody getting fired, somebody getting kicked out the Navy, somebody getting something.
No,
So
that's not true. That ain't true, man. That ain't true, bro.
Once
they don't all end the same. Some of these people get away with this shit. It's never reported. It's never.
Well, no. Well, I'm saying about. Yes. I'm saying the people.
I just want to make sure that you say that, because people listening and they're gonna be like, oh no.
Yeah, the people who's getting caught. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you talk about when the process works correctly,
Yeah.
the stories ain't the same. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Correct. 'Cause I know for a fact a lot of people getting away, but that's no doubt that's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, and a lot of times though, a lot of these people getting away with it because people don't speak up too though. So we gotta make sure we speak it up and drive it. And sometimes you're right about that too, man. Sometimes people speak up and don't shit happen. So
Yeah.
it's most definitely one of those things, man.
Yeah. I just hate having to think too much. Like I hate
Yeah.
having to be conscious of like so much. And I know you probably do too. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I gotta make sure, if one of the guys come, hey, Cian, let me talk to you. All right, what's up? But if one of the ladies come, it's like, and outside of what makes the seller comfortable, it's like, all right, like, is this happening? What's the perception? And it like literally like takes away from just the leadership. In my opinion, some people might have different opinions than me, but in my opinion, it takes away from that leadership experience because it's not like 100. In my opinion, it's not like 100% focused on whatever the problem is, because I got to focus on all these outside thoughts because of all these creepers that came before me that got her focusing on thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So even if you do things to get people comfortable, like certain things that get people comfortable, you got to tell her that to this person and who you talking to. So y'all really, I'm serious about it because it's like, yo, y'all really messing it up, for a lot of us out there.
I'm just the crazy part about it, to me, man, but all this stuff that happens, and this is why I can't, even if I was one of these crazy guys out there, creeper type guy, I just cannot see myself at no time taking an advance on a young lady or a young man or whatever, and didn't already know I probably got a shot. If I'm a senior guy, right? I'm a senior dude, and I know if I go talk to this young lady and say anything wrong to this young lady, I can get my ass in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? So I know that, right? I know that. So why in the hell, if I don't know for a fact I'm going to be good, why would I go over there and try that, man?
Yeah.
Why would I go over there and try when I know the odds are against me? It's probably a 25% chance, probably, if not lower, right? Automatically. And why would I go over there as a senior person and try that, man? Like, what makes me go, what's clicking in my brain and say, let me go over there and try this, knowing that I can get myself in trouble?
You think
You know what I mean?
people
Unless
like
something
rush?
happened before, unless like I'm a single guy and this person keep walking by my door, giving me eyes, giving me waves, sending me messages and all this, that probably could have gave a single guy a different vibe and said, okay, let me go try. But this don't seem to be the case. You don't know.
Then it's still women like go out, go to a bar, like go find, like, cause it's like I wonder if people get a rush from this shit, like yo, I'm messing with a junior seller on the shit, because it's like that'd be awkward. That'd be like awkward to me. I feel like if my wife worked at the same place as me, that would be awkward. Like, I wouldn't want to see her. Like I've been romantically linked with women at the same command as me before. But I'm talking about now in this time of my life. I ain't in my 20s no more. And we talk about leadership. A lot of them dudes ain't in their 20s no more either. But that'd be real awkward to like have to like tip, like I don't know.
Being a CMC, man.
Yeah.
And then had relations with one of these sailors, and now you on board with him. You guys still walking around together. You can't even be a good leader no more, man. You know what I mean? You can't say certain things because one thing we know, people talk, man, and eventually it's gonna come out. But what I'm getting at is, man, like you tiptoeing now.
Yeah.
Because you know you out, you done something, or you something, bro. I just can't see my Let's be in a position like that, man.
Yeah, it's sick, it's man. Crazy. But even to stick to this tune, man. Do you have a oh by the way? I mean, not a oh by the way. You gotta do better.
Do better. Yeah, I do. After we got to talk about this, I was gonna bring it up.
All right, so even to stick to this tune, then like our future is like depending on us not carrying on bad traditions, right? I was talking to a select, the other day, and I'm like, yo, if I was complaining about the Chiefs mess when I was a E2, and now the E2s are complaining about the Chief mess now that I'm a chief. And then when that E2 becomes a chief, the E2 is going to be complaining about the Chiefs mess. then somehow we're not getting it right when we become chiefs. Like it's some disconnect somewhere. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing. Like our future is at some point, like we should stop complaining about the Chiefs mess because we were the ones that were complaining about the Chiefs mess. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like it's like, when do we fucking stop? Like we gotta feel responsible. I know everybody don't just change when they become a chief. Like everybody don't just shift and just not care about sellers. Like that's not like what it is. So what is it? Like what's the problem? Like how do we fix it? It's not just sellers are changing. That ain't the answer. Cause we looking at stories like this. We got Master Chiefs like fucking junior sellers, taking advantage of training opportunities. A whole bunch more, more stuff, whatever happened on Away City or whatever happened, in different places. So it's like at some point we gotta take responsibility. Like it's on us. That's what I was telling the selects like the other day. It's like y'all can have whatever, because we get to talking and some people, I gotta disconnect with, the mess and stuff like. Well, it's on us to make that change. Like it's gonna be on y'all to like redefine that or whatever like that. Cause that's like kind of like the new, I don't know if y'all had it, but that's like the new conversation with the selects now. It's like, all right, we know we've identified like the problems. Now, how can y'all come and help fix it?
Yeah. I tell you this, man. I was actually talking to some selects the other day, man. I was talking about standards, man. And I was talking about that's where it starts for me at. I said, if you want to make change, you got to have some standards. I said, when you take your own division and you do it however you want to do it as your division and what you want to do with your divo or whatever, have some standards. And then I gave him an example of some standards, man. And my example of some standards was the ship was doing bad, doing inspection, right? So I came on the ship one day, and I went down to the shop and I knocked on the door, and he was having quarters. And I knocked on the door. DCA opened the door and said, "Hey, come on in. We just having quarters real quick. You can come on in." And so I stepped in the door, man, and the sailors was like laying all on the deck. You know what I mean? Just chilling. I'm talking about like laying on the deck, not in no Indians, laying down and everything, while the chief and the DCA's up there, putting out the work in the DC-1. So to me, that standard right there, I'm already thinking, differently about what's going on. But then when I get down there, it's a reflection on how they was down there in that shop. To me, was a reflection on how they was doing on board the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And to me, in my opinion, so I told them my standard was quarters. Quarters was the standard. You know what I mean? That's where we set things right at. That's when we set the plan for the day and all this type of stuff we're gonna do. I think it starts there. So I was just giving this thing, man. We were talking about, we was an E2 and then we become the chief and all that. I think a lot of it, man, it starts with having some type of standard, man. Yeah. And we all make chief and we have a chance to set the standard. Right? As you as an E2, you as an E3, you kind of following whatever standard it is already there. But when you become that chief, you get an opportunity to set that standard, man. And that's kind of was my message, because I got like 4 things I talk about during that time. But that was one of the things I talk about, man. It was a standard. And I think that's where it's going to start. It can start now. It can start whenever. But it all starts with having a standard.
Yeah.
And living by it. You know what I mean? And yeah. And then you got to be consistent with that standard too. So there's a lot more to it, but that's what I'm getting at.
Damn, man. You give out speeches when you do inspections?
Bro. No. I wasn't giving the speech.
Oh, you talking about you were talking to the select.
I was talking to the select.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, damn, man, when you
I wasn't giving speeches to
I was about to say, damn.
I wasn't giving speeches to the
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, get the guys together.
Hey, bro, I go down there to the spot, man. I say, that's why y'all doing shitty. No, that's not what I'm doing, bro. That's not what it is, man.
Hey, DCC, man, round up all your guys, man. Round up your division, man. We gonna have a little chat, man. That's crazy, man.
Let's talk, man.
What's your do better, bro?
Man, my do better is medical pharmacy, man. You know, I was in there, man, for almost an hour yesterday, man, to pick up one thing, man. We gotta do better. I mean, like for real, man. Like it wasn't. It was like 6 people in there. So I know we doing things different. We got people ordering stuff online, and we doing all this type of stuff, whatever. But dude, I sit in there for too long yesterday, man. We got to do
Which medical was this? Which medical was? We got to actually call them out, man, because it ain't every medical pharmacy. So which one was this?
32nd Street.
Okay,
32nd Street. You gotta do better.
Y'all motherfuckers been put on notice, man.
Put on notice, man. Don't make me make no type of report, man. I'll critique your ass, man. Next time I come up in there, man. You gotta do a little bit better, man. If you work over there on 32nd Street, you know, dry side pharmacy, I'm looking for you, bro. Speak up. I'm looking for you.
Better.
Better, man.
I say that because ours ain't that bad where I work. Like they give it to you, like you straight. But some places is
I guess you're right, man. I can't blame all pharmacies.
Yeah, it ain't.
Can't blame them all. Yeah, you're right, man.
Hey, so real quick before we get into a couple more topics, do you the self-checkout, man, or any kind of register nowadays that when you paying for something, man, and the last thing they ask you is like, do you want to donate money to children with cancer, or do you want to donate money to veterans with no limbs, or do you want to donate money to your uncle who just had triple bypass surgery? And it's like, you know how bad I feel when I hit that no button, man? Like, cause it's like, yo, like, I do want to donate it. Like, I want to donate. Like, why are you asking? It's like they put you in the. Every time I see it, it's like, yo, you put me in a real bad moral spot, man. Like, I do want to give money to kids with cancer, but I can't right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Now I like the round up option, where to be like round up. This money go to
round up. But
I'll tell
you,
what's up?
No, you go ahead.
Man. I was just gonna say, like, I also never see like ever like the return. Like, yo, this year, like, if somebody know more than me, is it somewhere we can go to see how much money we did donate to the Ronald McDonald Foundation for Children, you know, and stuff like that? Because every time I go buy fucking Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch, and I'm giving away $2 to children, it's like, yo, where does that money ever go? You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I wonder about.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm with you, man. I get it. I feel guilty as hell too, man. But a lot of times I do give though, man. I told y'all give $1, get whatever. I mean, I give, but it's like they put my hands behind my back when they do it though. I don't like that feeling though.
Yeah, it's the way they put it, right?
It's the feeling about it, man. Like, cause me, like when we do the CFC stuff, man. My mom passed away from that being a diabetic, so I always that's my role, that's my path.
Yeah.
You know, diabetic stuff. I look at stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking about when I do that. But when I'm at that register, man, you ain't giving me no choice. Then what if somebody close to you behind you, and then they listening in, and I hit that? You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that or whatever. You mean you just feel bad, man. So you go ahead, go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead. You know?
Do you always say yes? You say yes all the time?
I say it a lot of time. Not all the time. I tell you what. This is what I do, man. If the option pops up there to me, I might hit a quick no. But if they ask, you know what I mean?
If they say it verbally?
If they ask it verbally, a lot of times I say yes when they ask me.
Yeah, like, hey, do you want to contribute to children with cancer? Like, yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of how they get me, bro, when they verbally do it, man. If it just pop up there, I hit that no real quick, bro. Real quick.
Yeah. Hit it the quick. Like, I had already hit. I pay for, like, since we got Apple Pay, I pay for like the product like soon as it's rung up, and then I hit like pay with credit and all the options. I'm already paid for. I don't know, man. I'm like this weird person that like I want to be the fastest person at self checkout every time. Like I do. Like I want like people. Like I want to get into the self check. I'm sure I'm the only person in the world that think like this. I'm sure I am. But if it's a full self checkout joint, like I feel like I'm like the people's champion. If I could get in there and get out of there before anybody else get out that was already in there before me. Like I just feel like the fucking people's champion. Like yo, and I look back like yo, I held y'all down. Like y'all good to go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can't continue the cycle.
walk through there, like beat them on your way out. Beat 'em,
like
beat
we
'em.
can't continue the cycle. I'm gone. Like I mean, to the point that I gotta reach back to grab the receipt, bro. I'm serious. Like this is my real life. Like I reach back, pull the receipt out. It's all like one fluid motion when I go through self checkout, bro. Like everything is super fast. I reach back, grab the receipt, and never tell them how many bags I got. That's too intrusive.
Yeah.
You being too intrusive. Don't ask me how many bags I got, because I double bag everything. So is it a double bag, one bag, or two bags? Like, you being too intrusive. Like, leave me alone, man. And I know in California, they charge y'all for the bags, right?
Yeah, 10 cents, bro.
Yeah. You're going to have to leave me alone, man. You can't, if you take me through self-checkout, you can't prove how many bags I'm using, now fault me for my integrity right there.
One bag.
Yeah, one. I got like 4 or 5 of them, man. Hey, I heard we met our recruitment goals on the enlisted side. I read an article that said we met our recruitment goals. So maybe we gave away enough money or whatever. But it said we met our recruitment goals on the enlisted side, but not for officers. Did you see that?
One more time, say it again.
We met our recruitment goals for enlisted, but not for officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw that, but that's good. I mean, we've been talking about recruitment and not being able to recruit for about a year. Air Force ain't been having the same luck as us. Yeah. Right. So the Air Force ain't been having the same luck. The Air Force is aiming high. That's what
very high.
Yeah.
Very high.
So Air Force green lights waivers for THC positive applicants. So Air Force and Space Force are now offering a second chance to applicants who test positive for the high-inducing chemical THC during their entrance physical. The temporary policy change marks an attempt to rethink an aspect of the Air Force's stringent ban on marijuana use as the service struggles to meet recruiting goals. So we've been seeing this through a bunch of different services, like people lightening up recruitment standards so they can actually get people in. Right, I guess everybody can't afford to give everybody $115,000 like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think this is the start, bro. I think this THC thing THC thing is the start of legalizing marijuana, man. Right. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably like 10, 11 states right now that is not legalizing marijuana right now, right? So with that being said, man, like, I think all military branches finna start this. Air Force was the one that started it. But think about it for a second, man. It's legalized, right? So you go in, you fail that first piss test, and they tell you, hey, you got to come back in 90 days, right? But now you know what time it is now. That's not saying you're a bad person because you out there smoking weed. You know what I mean? You're not a bad person. So yeah, why not say, okay, motherfucker, you failed this. Give them a time limit to come back, clean themselves up, and come back and try again. Now, once you sign up, now it's a zero policy thing that you know what I'm saying? Now it's zero policy. Now you know if it happens again, you done. Or whatever the case may be. But I think I don't think that's a bad look at all. You know what I mean? Tell you the truth. I don't think it's a bad look.
Yeah, me either, man. Me either. It's not an indictment against anybody, so why not? You know what I'm saying? And the Navy, we are rolling out something though. We rolling out the Tupac. Rolling out. Damn, I could have said rolling up. It would have had something to do with the marijuana. We could have got the Segway King going. I missed my opportunity, but we are rolling out the new underway uniform, right? Because they said that our fire retardant coveralls have not been fire retardant. Right. Or matter of fact, just our regular coveralls the fire. I mean, I think they had a fire on them too. But they've been highly flammable, man. Just imagine that, going to somewhere like, oh yeah, these fire retardant, and then like you just ignite it in flames, man. Like that's just so these joints called the Tupac because we always need to use acronyms for everything. And I mean I can't see these not being called the Tupac. What? 2POC? That looked like Tupac to me. But what you think about the uniform, man?
I don't know, man. It sounds like maybe I might get a shot at before I get out of having some the working khakis you have back in the day, man. I might get a shot at it, man. I'm not a big they ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not a big fan that we keep changing stuff to uniforms and all that. I'm not about all that. But I remember when I first came in, man, I had those dungarees on, man. The chief used to wear those khakis around, like, you know what I mean? What I think you used to call them the working khakis or something, man. They used to be sharp. But it was
Yeah.
in working uniform every day, man. They used to be sharp, bro.
Yeah.
I used to like that, man. But of course, you know, over time we got rid of it and started making everybody wear the same uniform and all that type of stuff. But I don't know. I think the biggest issue is like a new uniform. You know what I mean? That's the biggest issue.
Another one.
I don't ever have a problem with a uniform. I just got a problem when it's happening every freaking year. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, speaking on new uniforms, I was watching sellers complain about the exchanges not having black rank tabs, man. And I'm like, yo, they put this shit out about a year and a half ago, man. Like, why'd y'all really literally wait till the 25th of September to start trying to get your rank tabs, man?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna give a big shout out to one of my guys I work with, man. I remember the day that article came out, man. He went over there to the exchange, man. We all gave him a little buy sell solo, man. He went over there, said, man, I'm finna get these things. He came back to the office with like 10, 15 of them, and we just gave him money. It took him like a long time ago, man. So big shouts out to him with that.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, nobody want to hear that shit, man. This shit been out for forever, man. So nobody want to hear you guys complaining about these tabs. But I know it's a uniform issue out there when it comes to buying things, and I kind of got to the bottom of it a little bit. Well, I heard to the bottom of it. Mac Pun, you know, he talked, and he was talking about it's a shortage of workers, man.
Oh,
that's why a lot of these uniforms ain't rolling. That's why we had some issues with getting the Chief Selects all their uniforms and things like that because of the shortage of workers, which I didn't know. But yeah,
for real,
yeah, man.
Ain't like unemployment like a thing though? I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not a professional in these thoughts, so I don't even want to kind of talk about it. But the new uniforms, they look decent. I like the khaki. I like the way it looks. I like the way the blue uniform looks as well. Hopefully, we wear it. It's another uniform change. I've been through less uniform changes than you because I came in for utilities. So that was the working uniform when I came in. I really don't like that uniform, the utilities. It was a weird uniform.
It was like the prison uniform, man.
Yeah, and it was also the real telltale when you start gaining weight because them pockets used to protrude, man. They look like wings on your hips. You know what I'm saying? So people start gaining weight. Them pockets look like wings on the hips, and the back of your shirt start coming up out your ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you do with the utilities. And also when you sweat, the underarm part. Utilities was a nasty, real nasty vibe uniform. People pens used to explode in their pockets. It's a whole. You had to crease them joints about 16 different places. Utilities wasn't it.
Yeah, you're right, man. What it was, the sleeves was 2. The down here was another 2. Then 3 in the back. Yeah, man, like 7 spots. Man.
They wasn't it, man. And you had to make sure that was an iron uniform. Like the other ones, you could probably throw on, do something in the morning. It'll lay out by by quarters, by the next day, by the afternoon. But them utilities, they had to get starched. They had to, man. like it was not right. Don't make a mistake and leave them in the bottom of a bag or something. You know what I'm saying?
Come out of rock.
Yeah. But so these new ones look pretty decent, and like you said,
not too bad, bro. Not too bad.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on. All right, I came across a story on the internet, on YouTube the other day, and I'm like, damn, how come we not really talking about this story that much? It was a woman named Denisha Montgomery Smith from the Army, right? And I'm gonna get into this story a little bit from KAMC, Good Morning, Lubbock. I guess that's probably her hometown. But it says, family believes woman was murdered during deployment. Denisha Montgomery's family is the man that answers as they say she was murdered while serving her country overseas. So she was 27. I'm going to try to kind of just say what I know and use this article for clip notes, Cliff Notes. But she was 27, right? She only had been in the Army for 2 years, right? She had 3 young sons. She was married. She was stationed in Germany with a police company for the summer. And she went out with some fellow, police officers or soldiers, however we want to call it. And she came home after going out with them and like went on FaceTime and talked to her family. She had multiple wounds, cuts, like open cuts, like bruises, open wounds on her body or whatever. So she was on a 12-minute video call. She said they went to an off-base water park, been drinking, and she got assaulted on a car ride back. She said she got choked out. And I think she might have passed out because I think some of the scars were not like she didn't even know where they came from or whatever. So I'm assuming at some point she was unconscious. I could be wrong about that, right? So her family, they called Red Cross and they reported what she told them, that 4 military police assaulted and strangled her. The next day she texted her uncle. She said, they told me if I report an assault, I'll be charged with assault too because I mushed the female and bit the male that was choking me, right? And this is where you was talking earlier. Me personally, I would have had to take that assault charge. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I would have just had to take that one. But people do these things to deter you and to scare you and all of that. I'm going to just have to take this because we about to fight this out in court, and I'm not, please don't take that as I'm taking nothing away from her. August 9th, 21 days later, Montgomery was found dead in her barracks. The same day, the Army told her family that she took her own life, right? So they told them that she committed suicide by suffocation. And the mom says, well, how do you suffocate yourself, right? How does that even happen? The dad says he knows she wouldn't have committed suicide. She wouldn't have killed herself, stuff like that. I can't really substantiate any of that because you never know, in my opinion, like who gonna do something when it's their time, when they feel like it's their time. You never know. But then they got 5 days later, the Army came back out and said the incident is currently under investigation by the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division. So that's when the family really started to get confused, like, well, what the hell? Like, what's going on? So I don't know what the connection would be between them saying she committed suicide and now them saying that it's under investigation for criminal investigation. Like, are they investigating what happened, the 21 days ago? Or are they investigating her death, now or whatever, like that? So there's a whole lot to the story, but I just feel like we've been kind of like, we ain't really heard nothing from it or whatever. It's been quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They most definitely need to be a little bit more transparent with the family, though. I mean, the family need to know what's going on. Sound like when you hear the family talk about it, seem like they don't know anything. I know when stuff is under investigation, they try to keep it hush, 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 hush. But at least you need to let them know. They don't know if it's under investigation for a criminal act, and then it's like they're guessing. You know what I mean? It's like everybody guesses. At least you can hit the family up and say, you know what, this case is under this. This is what's going on. This is where we at. Do we need a lawyer? Do we need this? We need that. So I don't want to get into the fact of knowing what happened, but I tell you this, man, like looking at the video, looking at all this stuff, it's more to this story, I think.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is, and I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm not doing anything like that, but all the stuff that we do know seemed like it was more to the story.
Yeah.
And I think I think the Army owes the family's explanation on like, well, you ain't just finna tell me my daughter committed suicide and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. Done deal. No, not with all the stuff that led up to it. That's why you got to talk to me more, because it was more things led up to this. If it was nothing led up to it, maybe a little bit different, but it was a lot of shit that was happening, man. And the daughter was very transparent with her family on all the things that was happening. So yes, they're going to have a problem, and they should have a problem because shit was happening, you know what I mean? To their daughter, you know, and she's pleading for like help, you know what I mean? Like pleading for help, you know? So, and then gonna say some shit like they gonna charge me with bro. Like if ain't nobody even tell me if you report it, I'm gonna do this to you. What? Who says it? It gotta be somebody that was kind of involved with the situation a little bit to say some shit like that, man. You know what I mean?
That's
like
wrong
I don't know.
in itself.
Yeah,
right? That's
like
wrong in itself.
who's saying that stuff? It's like it's a lot of stuff in that right there, man, that need to be talked about. So I hope the family get the first off condolences to the family, and I hope they get the you know the transparent and all that stuff. It's the stuff they need to put closure on this, man. They need that. The family needs that.
Well, a young seller said that to me before on the ship when they were making a report because they were saying that like they got sexually assaulted. They said they told their chief they got sexually assaulted. Me and you probably talked about this before, but they said I told my chief I got sexually assaulted, and they was at a party and they were underage drinking at the party. So they said when they told the chief they got sexually assaulted, the chief pretty much said, "Well, like, how can you go say anything? Because this happened at a party that you shouldn't have been drinking at. You was underage drinking." And I'm like, what? Like, yo, you just gonna have to take that underage drinking charge. Like, we just gonna have to take that. Like, we reporting this sexual assault. You know what I mean? I just don't understand that shit when
So
people do
let me
shit.
let me tell you how I will approach that. I would approach that shit like, hey, let's go. We about to get this motherfucker. You might get a hit a little bit on the age thing, but that's okay. We need to do this. I'm encouraging. I'm not finna be like, what? And if I even even if you even get that, you know what I mean? I'm like, what? You ain't out here finna freaking assault nobody and think, you know what? That's crazy, bro. As a leader, I know we talked about this a little bit, man, but as a leader, ain't no way in the hell I'm finna say no shit like that, man.
Yeah, it's like what this got to do with that? Like either,
Yeah.
like even if I was going to make, if I was with my seller, like, and they like, well, she was at a, yo, this don't got nothing to do with that right now. We reporting a sexual assault. We ain't talking
That's not
about
even
her being underage drink.
Bro, where did that thought process comes at, man? Where do that thought process come from? Like, you up here telling me about you having this horrific thing happen to you, and the next thing comes out of my mouth, well, you was underage drinking. I'm not even thinking about no damn underage drinking. That's not even a thought process for me right now.
That's piss poor leadership. That's like real bad trash leadership, bro.
Real bad.
That's real bad, yo.
Real bad, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
real
so
bad,
horrible, man. And when a seller told me that, you know, this was like removed later. This is like making a report, you know. But when a seller like explained that story to me, man, I'm like, yo, we walking on a ship, and then to mess with people that think like this.
Yeah.
Like I got counterparts that's thinking like this.
Yeah.
Like it's no way we gonna win over the trust of the seller when we got counterparts. This is like detrimental to me, like real bad. Like this would make you think other motherfuckers was like the person. Like that's how bad. This ain't just like a silly thing. Like, yo, yeah, I don't put my carts back where you supposed to put carts at in Target. Like this is like victim blaming, all types of craziness, man.
And then on top of it all, man, I'm gonna say this last thing about it. As a leader, if you don't know what to say, don't say shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't say nothing. If you don't know what to say, don't say nothing. You know, just say some shit like, I'll be back. Let me come back with a better answer. Let me come back with it. Then you go talk to somebody else. Whatever you need to do to help you out. But if you say some jacked up shit, don't say nothing, man. If you don't know what to say.
Yeah. And let's get answers for Denisha Montgomery Smith, man. This ain't the first. Man. This not the first case like this coming out the Army. You know what I mean? Military period. But, you know, this ain't the first case like this coming out the Army. Like somebody got to put somebody on notice at some point. And if it takes us to do that, then it takes us to do that. But we got to put somebody on notice. Yeah. This ain't right. Let's get more transparency to them families. That's why they be going outside of the system. Because they don't got nobody they can trust inside the system. And it's like a vicious cycle. So it's like, you like, all right, we can't say nothing to the family because they're going to take it outside the system. And then they do take it outside the system because you ain't say nothing to them. It's like a vicious damn cycle. Let's start being transparent with the family, letting them in on what's going on, why are we doing an investigation, what's going on. It's like you said before, like our children are not being placed in good hands. You know what I'm saying? That care about the community, the military community now, that family, like your family is my family now, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that shit ain't happen. When people say, yeah, you ain't pack your family in a seat back and all that, it's like we getting further and further away from that idea.
Yeah.
You know, and then people got the nerve to ask people, like, what would their mom think if they saw them at DRB? Like,
Yeah.
you know
It's
what I'm
crazy,
saying?
bro. Yeah, I'm with you, man. 100%. 100%, man.
All
Do
right, so
better.
big news, right? We talked about sellers that need money. PSD, still got a lot of growing to do. We know that. But let's talk about this whole DOD announces immediate and long-term actions to help strengthen the economic security and stability of service members and their families, right? So a memorandum came out from the Secretary of Defense taking care of our service members and family, right? So Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III announced immediate and long-term actions to help strengthen economic security and stability of service members and their families. And this was a 4-point plan, right? Four key areas. The first one was basic needs, right? So what I want to kind of do is just talk about one and then kind of talk through it. So the first one was basic needs, and that's reviewing the prospective 2023 BAH tables to ensure calculations reflect the unusually dynamic fluctuations in the housing market. Needs to be done.
Yeah. Man,
Right.
I agree totally, man. We got inflations, we got things that happen, and you got one of those things out there, man, like in the civilian world, man, when you have inflation, you have these different things going on. And their pay may change in accordance with whatever going on, right? The cost of living or whatever. But that don't happen too much in the military, man. And I think that's what we're doing right now. I think we starting to see that, man. We starting to see it maybe a little slower than people want. But I do think we starting to see it, man. And I think it's a great thing, man. I was listening to the MegPun talk the other day, and he was like, this plan they put in place was for the start of the year, right? January. But I guess they sit down at a round table, which we wasn't invited to, bro. And they came up with, and they said, you know what? Let's start this now.
Yeah.
Temporary. Let's start this now, temporary, and then we can start up the whatever gonna be permanent in January the 1st. Which I thought that was a great idea, man. Even though I don't know if it's for everybody right now, I know it's like a certain number of I'm talking about the BH thing. I think it's a certain number of places they doing right now, but it's most definitely a start though.
Well,
right
I tell you
direction.
what, man. I tell you what, I feel the difference in the economy. Like, I don't feel like I got as much money. Now, I mean, right now, my wife ain't working. She, trying to get employment. But I feel broker than I felt 3 years ago. I'll tell you that. I don't know about everybody else, but I feel broker than I felt 3 years ago. It's going to take me a little bit longer to get the Mercedes or the Tesla, one of the two. It's going to take me a little bit longer. So I'm still in my Malibu. Everybody know I hate that car. It's not a senior chief car. I know you got a Mercedes, so yeah. So the second part of this first point is to institute, is what you was talking about, right? Institute increases in BAH for active duty service members in 28 housing areas, right? Military housing areas, MHAs, that experience an average of more than 20% spike in rental housing costs this year, above this year's BAH rates, right? Which, needs to happen. Good thing they didn't wait till January, because, I mean, it's happening to people right now. 28 areas. Can't go through everywhere, but Cali, right? A lot of places in Cali, San Diego, Dover, Delaware, actually, Florida, a few places in Florida, Georgia, places in Illinois, Boston, Cape Cod is there, Martha's Vineyard's there, coastal Maine, North Carolina, Wilmington, Newport, Rhode Island, of course, New Jersey, Providence, Rhode Island, of course, Houston, Texas, Quantico, Woodbridge, VA, not the District of Columbia, not DC, not where I'm stationed at. You know what I'm saying? Like that bothered me. I thought I was getting that hype.
Man.
Yo, look, when I heard the news, I'm like, I don't even gotta look at whatever they put out. I'm getting that hike. Like, and I was talking to somebody. I'm like, I'm sure DC on there. He's like, no, bro, actually it's not. I looked at the list and I'm like, what? We not getting that hike, but they gonna give it the Woodbridge. They gonna get that shit the Woodbridge.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
You know, DC probably ain't report nothing, man. You know, you probably didn't do those what they call those critiques or those surveys.
Y'all getting a hike, right?
Oh
yeah. Yeah, that's why you still feeling good. Got that smile.
Yeah.
Be able to get that back taken care of right and everything, man.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm pretty excited about that, bro.
That's what's up, man. That's great news, man. It says fully fund our commissaries to cut prices at the register with goal of achieving at least 25% savings on grocery bills compared to the local marketplace. Commissaries already got some good, value
deals,
and it's better deals,
Yeah.
So this one we gonna dig into.
It yet, though.
What'd you say?
I ain't tried it yet, though, man. I heard you can like order your shit from the commissary and just pick that shit up now, man.
Yeah, we talked about that on here.
Yeah, we talked about. You tried it yet?
Nah, man. I don't even shop at the commissary, man.
Yeah,
ain't no Starbucks in there. It got to be a Starbucks. Here I go saying I'm broke, but I need a Starbucks where I shop at.
Every day.
Serious, man.
Yeah, Starbucks every day.
I need a key lime coconut. All right, let me skip that. I don't expose my little snack that I've been. It says pay eligible service members the basic needs allowance starting January 2023. BNA is a supplemental allowance for service members with dependents who apply and qualify based on their gross household income. But we're going to dig into that for a second, right? What is basic needs allowance, right? So this new allowance was announced by Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin in a September 22 memo. It's designed to assist military families who are struggling financially in the current economic situation. It says the basic needs allowance, or BNA, will only be available to military members stationed in the U.S. who have dependents and whose gross household income is below 130% of the federal poverty guidelines. All household income is considered when determining a service member's eligibility to the new benefit. This includes income from all military paying allowances, income from all other household members, investment income, and any other household income. Currently, a family of 4 in the continental U.S. earning less than $3,000 a month will be eligible for the new allowance. The cutoff for family stationed in Hawaii is $3,300, Alaska $3,500. Different limits apply for different family sizes. The guidelines change annually, right? How to apply? Because you got to apply. You don't get it automatically, right? So it says individual services will screen service members for, and this is DOD, so this is going to be everybody, right? Individual services will screen service members for eligibility and notify them on their eligibility. The military says it will begin accepting applications in December. Department of Defense will require potentially eligible service members to provide proof of the family income, such as a tax return or W-2 before the allowance is paid. Members are required to apply for the benefit and provide all necessary income information before receiving the benefit. You do not need to have received an eligibility letter from your payroll office to apply for the benefit. If you believe you're eligible, you can submit the application anytime. How much is it, right? So the BNA will pay a service member a monthly payment that is designed to bring their gross household income up to 130% of federal poverty guidelines. This amount will vary by location and family size. It'll also depend on members' monthly pay and their family income. So it says, for example, if a family member's income is $500 less than the monthly federal poverty guidelines, the monthly BNA is $500. The BNA is taxable and no back pay is authorized. Right?
And taxable.
And then more information will be forthcoming from individual military branches on specific application guidelines and payment procedures. So that is what BNA is, the basic needs allowance.
Yeah.
Right? Sounds good. But
sounds good. I'm assuming it's gonna be for young sailors. Ain't nobody like senior sailors ain't making no less than no 33,000, no 3,000 nothing. So it have to apply to some young sailors that's out there that's not making a lot as E1s, E2s, and things like that. Which, hey, I tell you what, man, when I was coming up and I was young, I wish I had it. Ain't gonna lie about that. So
Yeah, but
I think it'll help though. I mean, in certain locations, bro, I know it's probably rough, man. Rough out there. It's some young people out there, man. That's like say they and you in a home and your wife is at home or your spouse is at home taking care of the family. You got 3 kids and you're the only one providing. That's got to be hard as a E1 E3 man.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Rough.
should sellers just get paid more? Period.
Yeah, I think that's another topic. But yes, man, like I think we should look at the civilian rates of things, man. Like and where you at and your location and pay more for stuff like that, man. I it's hard to and I think, man, in my opinion, man, I think that's another one of the reasons why the recruiting in the military is going down.
Yeah,
Because we're not at the level when it comes to money. Yeah, you get medical and you get this, but that's that though, bro. I mean, you get that part of any job you at now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do is just apply for it. So I mean, that's one of the biggest things, man, is the pay. And we was talking to them, and guess what? When we talked to the Mac point that day, that was one of the questions. That exact question about, are we talking about, you know, looking at the civilian to our pay scale, and it's not even close. So I'm assuming that it's being talked about. So
yeah, I mean, maybe raising the salary period for second term sellers, like after they re-enlist at least once. I get it. You know, it's an entry level job, I guess. You know, on your first enlistment, you might not stay the first 4 years or whatever. But let's maybe raise, income for second term sellers. Like nobody, in my opinion, should be like, if you serving in America's military, in my opinion, should be living somewhere under the poverty line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't even understand that.
Me either. Unless you make yourself living check to check, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but this is not, Yeah, but that's by choice. Like, this shit we talk about here is by, like,
choice.
looking at W-2s and shit. So it's like, nobody should be living. And my thought process, if you decide to, put on your gear and put on your uniform and serve in America's military, you should be getting compensated enough that you don't even have to be applicable for something like this. But somebody that understands more about budgeting and money might be able to explain something, different to me, but I just don't. I mean, dude, like, we don't even get good discounts, man. I don't even want to get into that, though. We don't even get good. Like, I should be able to go to Potbelly and get 40% off on my sandwich, man. Come on, Potbelly.
Come on.
I ain't had a Potbelly sandwich in a long time either, so they probably is giving 40%. I just don't know. It says, in addition, the president's budget includes a 4.6% pay increase for service members starting January 1, 2023. And that's all of us. And that's good money. And I can't wait for that bread.
6%. That's big time, bro. That's big time right there.
That's good money. That's good money. Let's go. It says to further ease the process of, so this point number 2, to ease the process of PCS moves. First of all, deal with different moving companies, legitimate moving companies. Like, that's the one thing y'all need to do, because the moving companies that the military deal with, trash. Irreputable. like some of these companies are not good, man. Like, I don't know about like experience that you deal with, but like, and it's like just this pass off shit. Like a truck, they drop it off at some storage place, a whole completely different company, pick it up from the storage. You're not gonna get your stuff on time. Something could be broken. You might have to claim a loss. Like, it's some real, and I get it. We always gone to like the lowest bidder or whatever. But these moving companies we dealing with, they bad, man.
This shit getting old too, bro. All this stuff we do with selling off to somebody else for the lowest bid shit is getting old too, man.
Yeah.
your shit coming from freaking Virginia to San Diego, and your shit that got handed off like 8 times.
Yeah,
you know, like, god damn, bro. Come on,
bro.
Man.
It was like the movers. Like, one time when I first moved to Cali, like the dudes that was moving my stuff, them dudes was like gangsters. Like, they was like real street OG gangster dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to them. They was about to get, somebody had called the cops on them at the storage facility. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how
They don't
much
supposed to
gangsters
be
they
here.
was. Yeah, like they almost got into a fight with somebody at the storage facility. That's how gangster them dudes was, man.
Oh my
You know what I'm saying? Because I think I had to go there to unlock, it was something weird where they were moving my stuff, but I think I had to go there to unlock something or go there to meet up with them. And them dudes was real hood dudes, man.
Yeah,
Like I was like, Dad, like,
yeah, I'm finna get this
yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't even
necessary.
like I couldn't even negotiate with y'all, man. Like I can't even talk to y'all. Yo, we drop this stuff off right now. Like I'm like, all right, all right.
I know they said we was gonna put it together, but I don't feel like that. Okay,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, you like, all right, I got it. I'll take care of it, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says permanently increased standard TLE maximum coverage from 10 to 14 days. That's good. Got 14 free days of leave. For CONUS moves and allow up to 60 days of TLE if a service member is in a specified military housing area with a housing shortage to take effect in October 22. That's good. That's straight. Cool. You got anything on that?
No, it's good. Good stuff, man.
Increased dislocation allowance for E1 to E6 service members to further help offset personal expenses for PCS moves, DLA. For all service members will be paid automatically 1 month prior to that move date to preempt and out-of-pocket expenses. This will take effect in October. That's good too. That way people don't gotta like front end things or think about back ending things because it's all kind of it's better for them. So that's good as well. And then continue improvements to military one source online moving and housing tools. The one source and the move.mil stuff, I'm going to just say that if I remember right, I didn't have the greatest of experiences using those things, but I mean, other people might have. So
yeah, it was all right. My wife did most of it, so it was good. I wasn't complaining too much.
Yeah, I'm planning a trip to Jamaica right now, so I'm looking at like everything that it takes to, do that or whatever. So I'm looking at that. To further strengthen support to families, the secretary has directed the department. So this is the third point. It says make significant investments in CDP facilities and infrastructure to further expand our capacity to provide childcare. I'm not connected to this because I never had to do CDC or CDP. Have you ever used CDC?
I have. I used it in Japan. And then I used it a little bit in Hawaii. I think Japan was good because they had a lot of, if you couldn't get into CDC, they had a lot of individuals that's doing care. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the spouses was doing the care. So we never had too much of an issue with getting our kids, the things they need when it comes to having a place to go. Hawaii was on the list. We was on the list for a few minutes in Hawaii though. I remember that. But then my kids started getting older, man. So it wasn't.
Damn, y'all was on a list so long that your kids got too old.
Well, my youngest was
on the list.
Yeah, my youngest was right at that age. You know what I mean? But my two oldest, man, at the end, I wouldn't worry about them no more. So they ended up getting in there, but then they started school. My youngest started school right after that. So it wasn't too much of an issue.
Yeah, so CDC, right? Is it normally just one center though on base? Have you ever been on base where it was more than one?
I never been on base with more than one. No.
Oh, yeah. I think it should be on some bases, but okay. It says standardize a minimum 50% discount for the first child of CDP directed care workers, helping to attract more talented staff and to increase capacity. This will take effect in October. Improve access to childcare programs and resources such as military childcare in your neighborhood and expand the in-home childcare fee assistance pilot program. I think that's going to be good. We talked about that on this podcast. To additional states to provide more options to military families. Military CDC hours have already extended their hours to better account for service members' varied schedules. I had to read that twice because I couldn't believe they wrote it that way. But when I read it twice, they did. The department has also reached out to additional high-quality community-based childcare providers who agree to care for military families using DoD's fee assistance program. I think that's pretty cool too. Start like outsourcing or whatever. I think that's pretty dope. The department has also previously expanded parental leave policies to cover non-chargeable leave following the birth or adoption of a child for active duty and eligible reserve component service members. We talked about that on the pod. Established a new parent support program and updated policies to reimburse nursing service members for shipment of breast milk when on mandated temporary duty travel. Okay. I didn't even think about that. Like these things, I don't even think about. Like if you breastfeed and you go TAD or something, you gotta send over your breast milk or something. Hopefully, I'm thinking about that the right way. It says to further enhance employment opportunities for military spouses. So we already covered like families, right? With basic needs. We covered PCS. We covered the children, the families. Now it's like spouses and actually employment opportunities. It says accelerate the development of 7 additional occupational licensure interstate compacts with organizations representing multiple professions, easing burdens for spouses who must transfer professional licenses or credentials with each move. This is big. I think about it because I know my wife is working on her license and stuff like that for what she does in her field, in her profession. So this is good stuff. Like it's like, and I know I can't imagine having to always get a new license every time I move somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. Increase the use of non-competitive direct hiring authorities for military spouses in the Department of Defense and further expand remote work and telework options to help military spouses build portable careers. Dope. Launch a new career accelerator pilot initiative that will match military spouses with paid private sector fellowships and a variety of career paths. This will take effect January 2023. And then it says increase the number of partners in military spouse employment partnership by 10% before January 2023. I think all of this stuff is good for spouses because it's like if you got a working spouse, she not just asked out or he's not just asked out because or they're not just asked out because you decided to just like move or not you decided to move. You got orders and you got to go somewhere else. You know, because we already know that's a part of military life. Moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's something you got to ask your spouse to sign up for. So what's your thoughts on all that, man?
I mean, I think it's all good stuff, man. And on top of all that, man, I also think it's coming from, people who are out there stepping up and talking about it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's coming from what type of groups out there talking about it, but I'm glad they are because sometimes, family members and spouses and stuff kind of do get left out a little bit on some of the things, man, that can benefit them or whatever the case may be. So, with that being said, man, this is everything we've talked about, man, is leading in the right direction, man, when it comes to taking care of the military and the veterans, man. So big shouts out to everybody involved. Still a lot of stuff we need to work on, but at least we making strides,
Yeah.
Making
man.
strides.
Yeah. And then the veterans, it looked like they're getting some money too. They're going to get their biggest cost of living bonus in 40 years. So the veterans going to get the vets going to get some bread too. But I want to get to something. First, I think I'm sick. I think I'm still a little sick. Like my nose still feel weird. I'm sniffing a lot. But I want to get to something before we roll. And it's my book of the week, right? So I've been trying real hard to finish this other book so it could be my book of the week. And I actually listed it as my book of the week. But I'm going to have some integrity here. And I'm going to talk about the last book that I finished, y'all. Before I start, though, right, I'm a little nervous about this. So before I start, I got to get a backstory on, like, the way I do books. So every, year I've been challenging myself to, like, always continuously have a new book, audio book or whatever like that, right? But and I read a bunch of business books, leadership books, history books, self-help books, a bunch of nonfiction books. I rarely read fiction, right? Very rarely do I read fiction. So about once a year, I take and read a fiction book. right? So a couple years ago, it was a mystery book. Last year, it was like a family thriller book, right? This year, I wanted to go outside the box. I wanted to read African American author. So I read a book called Pensive, right? An African American romance, right? So this was urban erotica, right? So this was, hey man, this was urban erotica, man, and like some 50 Shades of Grey type shit. You know what I mean? Like, I almost stopped reading it when I started because it was a little different than I like expected it to be. You know what I'm saying? But it was a disclaimer on there that was like, if your nose get turned when it come to torture and all this shit, don't read this book. And I'm the kind of person that if you give me a disclaimer, I'm in there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I read this book, right, man. And it's an erotica, right? But it's an audio book, right? So it's an audio book. I always say read, it's an audio book. So the author, it's about a woman and a man, right? And the author used a lady for the lady chapter. So every alternating chapter is from the lady point of view, and then the other chapter is from the dude's point of view, right? So what's this author's name? Let me give her name. Her name is Trevana Terra. Trevana Terry. So it's two characters, right? The dude, his name is Asa, and I forgot the girl's name, right? But so this dude he's a hired killer, right? So he's a professional, he's a contract killer, right? So he meets like this random girl at a hotel. She's a teacher and an author. So there you go. He got two completely different lifestyles already, right? He a contract killer, she a teacher and an author. But he also so on the side of him being a contract killer, he also got like subs, and he's like a dom, and he do like agreements with like ladies, like sex related stuff, right?
Oh,
And they got to sign,
type shit.
yeah, they got to sign contracts and all that stuff. So he meets this woman, and they start kicking it off with each other, right? I just make a long story short. This dude's not used to like falling for women and stuff like that. He's supposed to be this super desirable dude. She's supposed to be kind of nerdy, but like she don't know what she got, like type stuff, right? That's kind of the way he described her. He falls in love with her. He falls for her or whatever like that. So the book is kind of just about like him. At some point, he got to tell her that like I kill people, you know? Now what makes it like, I guess, forgivable is that he kills rapists and child abusers and stuff like that they feel like the system wouldn't give them the correct punishment, so he kills them. But like the book like really describes, like the first thing is like a torture scene. The book like described like every single aspect of him torturing this dude or whatever. Because the dude was a child molester. But like, so that's pretty much like he's struggling to like admit, because he got like a lot of money. He's like rich, multi-millionaire, like private jets, like big houses everywhere. But she never asking those questions or nothing like that. So it's just a book about them two. You know, of course they involved in some erotic action or whatever, and then stuff like that. It wasn't a great book. I'll just say that. You know what I mean? But I had to commit. It wasn't a great book. It's funny because I listened to these audiobooks out loud, and one time I was like listening to it, and like my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like she didn't know. She just know I'm always listening to books. And then she listens, she's like, what is this? Like what are they talking about? They talking about like sex right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just weird. She was like, I was really warm in my area. And like my wife was like, what the hell is going on? Like, so then I was like, and then then the embarrassment went away. I was like, that's cool. Fuck it. Like, I'm listening to this. But however, as not good as it was as a book, I'm interested in the characters, man. I kind of want to see. I think the author is working on another book, and I kind of want to see like what's next for Asa and his girl, man. Like, it was decent enough, man. It was decent
Got you
enough.
locked in, though. Got you locked
Yeah,
in.
I kind of
man.
want to see what happened to these characters, man. They have a whole lot of sex, but I mean, like outside of that, like I kind of want to see what happened to them, man. But basically, it's like a 2 out of 5 if I had to rate.
Okay.
Wasn't really good, but I'm hooked.
Yeah,
if that makes
but
any
it caught your
sense.
attention, though. Got your
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna read another urban erotica book, though. It might be another 14 years from now, but hopefully by then, I'm able to read it, and there's some good stuff in that book.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Here we go, man.
We got that movie review, man. It's been a hot minute, man.
Yeah, we ain't never gonna get through the terminal. We ain't
terminal list, episode 6.
Never gonna get through the terminal list, man.
Man, what it is? Transience.
Yeah. Transience.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna tell you my thoughts real quick on the show, man. So this is the one where I thought they got him. You know what I mean? I didn't know. At least we gonna get some torture. You know what I mean? At least I thought they go get him. You know what I mean? They had him dead to right. So it comes out where he go visit his family. He pretty much, tell his family, if you hear some stuff about me or whatever, just I'm pretty much I'm gonna get these motherfuckers
that was his mom and dad.
Yeah, mom and dad. Yeah. So he pretty much talked to his family. So he leaving there. They got him. I thought they had him. They threw the stuff across the road, and I thought they got him. Tires went on flat, but guess what? Old James hit the field on him, man. He out there. Couldn't catch it when he got in that field, man. He a Navy SEAL, so he kind of in his element, man. You got the field, you got water out there, so he was kind of in his element out there. So they went by to catch old. They went by they went by to catch James out there, man. So he took down a couple of them. He got a radio, so him and the other guy kind of talking a little bit, and he wounded a little bit too. So I'm thinking they was gonna finally, get him some type of way, man. At least get some conversation out, at least get a good torture, and then he'd probably get away, but it didn't work out like that, man. So not with James. He don't fuck around like that. So they out in the woods and whatever, man. And another episode came where he was making moves, man. He pretty much told him that he's not giving himself up until he get to who murdered his family and stuff. So at the end of this, man, I thought they had him. It was like a little. They got to him. He was going like a little mudslide, like a little down a little hill, man, whatever. So I was most definitely thinking they got him then, bro.
They had him.
I thought they had him
on both sides, from front and the back. They had him.
I thought they had him then, most definitely. And this motherfucker then rigged up some bombs and then blew them, and now they got a big, huge ass mudslide, man.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he really did it though. That lets you know it wasn't no limit. Like he don't got no limitations, man.
None, bro. None. Could have killed himself and whoever else died, man. He didn't care. He didn't care. But he lived, and he also brung one of the main characters that was trying to get his ass back to life. Because you know what I'm saying? She was pretty much dead, and he brung her back. You know what I mean? I think that gave some cool points a little bit right there, man, when he brung her back. So then he was back on the run again, man. So that's kind of how this episode went. I think from the point of the whole dish show, it was mostly in the wilderness. So I think they drugged that. And it was some good parts, the good talks, good at that, but you don't think they drugged that out a little long though? You know what I mean? Almost that whole show was in the woods.
Bro, I like stuff where it's like a single scene setting. If it could keep me drawn in, like the phone booth movie, stuff like that. I kind of like stuff like that. I like this episode, man. It made me appreciate Chris Pratt being. I know when we first talked, I said that it was gonna be hard for me to like appreciate Chris Pratt being the guy. This episode made me appreciate Chris Pratt being the guy that they chose for the role. His voice, everything that I hated. This episode made me appreciate it, because he's like his voice and how to me, like soft it is and stuff, like it humanizes the character. Like it provides a little bit of depth to like who he is. I know he made a tactical team look like fool's gold, man. Like this was the HRT, man, the cavalry, man. You know, they showed up. You know what I mean? He made them look like fool's gold, man. Like it's no way, man.
Yeah. I want you to talk about the James, just his character though, man. Like just so everybody know out there that didn't watch this or going to watch it, he is the best at what he does. Like he is known, you know, for being like who he is. You know, a Navy SEAL. Like he ain't one of the one that's on the team. He's the one that's out there running the whole show and the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just so
like it's like different. It's like different tiers of SEALs, and he's the top.
Yeah,
tier.
like different.
The other SEALs can't fuck with him or whatever. Like that.
All them operators, right? He an operator, but he's a different tier operator.
Like they just SEALs. I'm the SEAL or whatever.
SEAL.
They said the storm gave him an advantage, right? I'm going backwards, right? So he was injured. He was injured, but he also didn't have a pill.
Mm-hmm.
The pills that he's supposed to be taking or whatever. He grunted from that bullet. Like it was like just one little grunt. When he first got hit, it was like a little grunt. And then like he was good. Like he shook it off. Like what 50 say, like he got shot in the mouth, he spit it out. Like it was like an easy kind of like thing. He went and talked to his parents, man. His parents was like, yo, do what you gotta do, man. Like yo, just go do what you gotta do. Man.
That calmed him down right there. Man.
Yeah, go do what you gotta do, man. Like they just know their son is a beast. Like they'll just go do what you gotta do, man. But yeah, definitely a good. Like for me, this was a good one. I'm guessing it gets better. I think it's 2 episodes left.
Man.
So this was a real good one. I like how they could do different scenarios, but continue to like give a story and then add to his skill set as well. Like in every story, you see a different skill set of his and stuff. This one was all about survival for me. This one was all about survival. He's still dealing with the flashbacks. It's getting worse, actually. So he's still dealing with a lot of stuff. And he's, as the show is kind of going on, he's getting more and more injured, you know, mentally and physically. So we're going to see how that play out. Before we leave, though, did you watch the show C, the latest episode of C, the one that just came out?
I watched a little bit of it, most of it last night, but Ella was falling asleep, so I told her to stop it because I ain't want her to go to sleep. But I watched most of it though, and it's getting good too. It's on. But C always been on a whole nother level for us, man. We always been watching.
I mean, it's the last season, so
that's it. So you don't know what may happen now. Some got to go. Some got to give. But I know I one thing I do know, and I ain't trying to ruin for nobody. I feel like she just gave old Baba the okay. You know what I mean? To take out whoever you need to take out. Let's go. I think she didn't gave him that word, man. So I don't know what's about to happen now, though. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, finish it. It's a good episode. Hey, hopefully, like I said, I feel a little sick, so I hope I wasn't down for the listeners. But hopefully, y'all had a good time. Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your day off. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day off. And then we see y'all. Hopefully, we see y'all next week if Damon got time.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens, man. I also want to give a shout out to the people who got advanced to position. You know, big shouts out to them. I kind of knew like one person on there, man, that made chief with me, man. So big shouts out to them to putting on that other star, man. Big shots. Yeah, man. Mississippi stand up.